Hello, Internet, and welcome to Hearts of Stone. Thanks for joining us this lovely Saturday afternoon. We're going to be playing some Blades in the Dark. We get started here in just a few minutes, but first, going to talk about what we got going on the channel this week and some fun stuff you can join us for. I believe we're going to be kind of getting back to in the swing of things this week. We've had some disruptions for summer and the both out of work and work stress that comes from summer. I feel like once you graduate from like school, once you leave school, summer becomes the most stressful time of the year. I have uh, I have realized as an adult.
Yes.
So yeah, yes, RJ.
Actually, I like the summer because my commutes become far more quieter without
Oh
the
yeah,
noisy teens.
commutes get better, but like everyone just starts doing things, which makes those of us that work have to do more things in response.
Yeah.
Is kind of the
I
way that I
love
think
it
the
when
world
the
works now.
children go back to school.
Yeah, I love it when people stop driving, because that usually makes our jobs better. But yeah, anyway, so we should be getting back to the swing of things this week. Kicking back off with Monday, returning with Red Jenny, this week. Very excited to get back into that. And then I think we've got almost all the shows on our lineup happening this week. Red Jenny on Monday, Strixhaven on Tuesday, Neon Souls on Wednesday, and then back with this game next Saturday. So hang out with us for that. You can see the full schedule for our shows and what we play and who's in them below our faces if you're watching us live on Twitch. And if you're watching us on YouTube some point in the future, head over our Twitch page, see what we're doing right now, because who knows what that might be. Probably still Red Jenny. It's the one constant. So that is pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and let my lovely players here introduce themselves, talk about who they are, what they do on and off this channel, and who they are playing tonight, starting as always with Van.
That's me. Hi, I'm Van. You can find me on the internets at Van But Wilder, wherever you find people on the internet. Mostly, I'm just streaming on Twitch a few times a week and hanging out in our Discord. I run one game here on this channel on Tuesday nights called Queer Chronicles of the Strixhaven Quartet, and boy howdy is Tuesday gonna be interesting. Thanks to a teleport spell that went a little awry last time. So come hang out on the Tuesday nights, it's really fun. And then I play in other games, and I play on Sunday nights on twitch.tv/hackrecklessly, playing Dungeons and Dragons. Tonight I am playing Glass, who is the Whisper.
That's me. Hey, I'm Christina Sid. You can find me on the internet at Greek Sid if you have a lot of time on your hands. I am here Mondays, Tuesdays, and Saturdays. And this afternoon, I will be playing Salome. She is our spider.
Sorry, new computer, new buttons to press. Hello, everybody. My name is RJ. You can catch me RJ282 on most other places on socials. I'm doing a lot of things in a lot of places, but today I'm playing Fume, who's not the leech, but the hull.
Oh, exciting. That just leaves me. Hey, everybody, I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com doing nerdy drawings, mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on the Indoor Adventures stream. Today, I'm playing as, fucking Grackle. I didn't change my name on the Zoom, so I was like, that's my Christian, that's my government. No. I am playing as Grackle, who is the Hound, DanaeKeener.com.
And I am Val. You can find me at the Kraken's Crown, lurking around the internet. I'm here a few days a week playing running games. Other than this game, run the aforementioned Red Jenny and Neon Souls on Wednesdays. So come join us for those. That's all I got. Are y'all ready to get started?
So ready.
All right. I believe my captions have stopped working. I'm going to try to fix those here in a bit. Apologies for that. We'll troubleshoot when I get the chance. But going to do a quick recap here. Previously on Hearts of Stone, Fume grew up. Salome caught Captain Pansy in a lie. Grackle had a close encounter in the Deathlands. Glass went train hopping, and the crew threw some barrels of Leviathan blood and a man off a train, avoiding a vampire priest in the process. I think that covers everything.
Okay, it's not fair to say that the crew threw a man. I do need to take full responsibility for that. So, just in the name of accountability, that's on me. That's
to
on me,
be
friends.
fair, we could have stopped you, but we didn't.
I still need to take accountability for my actions. That's all.
We live and learn. And we don't throw people off trains in the future. Boy. But yeah, you had a successful heist, stealing the Leviathan blood that you needed to complete as one of the components for completing Salome's ritual that she had been tasked to do by one of the forgotten gods. And yeah, I think where we're picking up here is on the tail end of that, having escaped via river on your boat with all of the Leviathan blood, the many barrels you had stolen in tow, and making your way back through the city to the jewelry box. So we're gonna go ahead. I just want to breeze through payoff here, and then we'll do our downtime actions. And then y'all have another task to do. You have some heartstones that you need to gather for the last component that you need for this ritual. So pulling that up, let's talk about payoff. You earn 2 rep for score by default. Take +1 per tier higher. That's a good question here. Is that, I guess, your target for this, we talked about previously, was the Ministry of Preservation, as kind of who handles most of the Leviathan blood shipping and transport. They're kind of responsible for keeping the city running. So you sort of fucked over them by doing this more than anyone else. So they are a tier 5 group. You are a tier 3 currently?
No, we're not up to 3 yet.
You're at 2. Okay. So you get a total of 5 rep from the score.
Woo.
Unless the operation was so completely quiet, nobody knows about it. But I don't think anyone here can make an argument in good faith about that. So you have your additional rep, which I think y'all had basically cleared your rep last time because you had gone from a weak hold to a strong hold.
You're
Yeah, so plenty of space for that. Then we talk about coin. So you earn coin based on the nature of the operation or loot that was seized. I think I'm gonna go with 8 coin for this job. Big score, serious loot.
okay.
So
Do we want to fill the vault back up and then we can take the rest for pocket money?
Sure.
We got 4 slots in the vault.
yeah.
Works for me.
And essentially that factors in the extra Leviathan blood you stole, since you took the time to get to do this job rather than trying to acquire yourselves. You've got a surplus that you can sell on the side, make some additional money, stockpile for your own purposes. So you've got a decent amount.
Sweet.
We just 4 in the vault and then 1 for everybody.
Yay.
Sounds good.
Money.
All right. Heat. So let's talk about which level of heat we're starting with. I think this is going to be between loud and chaotic and wild. I'm leaning towards loud and chaotic. Which
We didn't alert the entire city, but we definitely alerted like a couple city blocks.
Yeah, I don't think it's smooth. I don't think it's contained. I think this kind of broke containment.
Honestly,
yeah.
we didn't blow up the train in its entirety, and I think that's a win.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it could have been worse.
It could have
It
been
could have been
worse.
worse.
Could've been
Could've
a
been
The
lot
train
worse.
will still run after this, so
Yeah.
We didn't accidentally light any barrels of Leviathan oil inside the Leviathan oil storage and blow up a bridge into the city.
Yeah.
No.
It was,
Yeah.
you know,
While
it wasn't
shooting
smooth, but
our-
it wasn't completely out of control, is what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. yes.
wild is not how I would describe it.
So
Not like
we'll
we
go.
shot your obedient servant into the wall with our Tommy guns.
No.
Yeah,
Maybe
you
next
didn't.
time.
You didn't blow up a train with a vampire inside. And
All right, the vampire. I forgot about him.
so we'll go with loud and chaotic, which starts at 4 heat. Add +1 heat for a high profile or well-connected target. I think we're gonna add 1 heat there. This is pretty high profile. You robbed a train inside Dustfall.
With
And
a
sold-
fucking diplomat from the church on it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that brings us to 5 heat. Add +1 heat if the situation happened on hostile turf. These in our market is still your hunting grounds, even though it's not the most hospitable place for you. It is still your hunting grounds, so we won't give you heat for that. Add +1 heat if you're at war with another faction. You are not currently. Add 2 heat if killing was involved.
Oops.
Which there was. So that brings us
Sorry.
to 7 heat
It's
total.
okay.
That's okay. We were at 0.
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
So you don't go up 1 level.
Yeah.
You got a little high for, but again, that makes sense. You robbed a train,
Yeah,
so
there was gonna be some heat involved.
that was going to be a pretty heatful job.
Heat.
Yep. Heatful. Hot. That's a hot job.
Hot job!
It was a hot one.
Cool.
Throw a
So,
little blue cheese on that, because it was a hot job. Sorry.
so y'all are still at wanted level
Sorry.
1 currently, or y'all 2?
Two.
You're at 2.
Two.
Okay, not too bad.
Because we were at we
We were at 4.
at 4.
Mhm.
and we've
Yeah,
gone
you
back
were able
down
to drop it
2.
down 2 levels. Cool. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll the entanglement. See where we're at after this job. I gotta get.
Quiet dead. We're always cheering for Unquiet Dead.
Unquiet dead. Unquiet dead.
More often than not,
Sense.
that ends up being what it is. Okay.
I will gladly resolve unfinished business for the man that I accidentally killed. In fact, regardless of if we get Unquiet Dead, that is what I'm doing during downtime. I am going to throw a largesse at the Jenkins family.
Fuck you, Unquiets, you're dead.
All right, we're rolling 2 on the
Fuck you,
6
Quiets, you're dead.
plus heat chart. That is a 6, which would be arrest.
But we get to choose.
And I'm going to roll one more time. That is a 3, which is flipped or interrogation.
Oh my god, both of those are the same. The same
No,
thing.
Yeah.
those are pretty rough.
We shouldn't have talked about CSI Miami so much before the stream.
So let me tell y'all what the options are. So flipped or interrogation is the flipped option is one of the PC's rivals arranges for one of your contacts, patrons, clients, or a group of your customers to switch allegiances due to the heat on you. They're loyal to another faction now. So one of your allies is no longer your ally.
Don't like that. Don't like that.
Interrogation is the blue coats round up one of your PCs to question them about crew's crimes. You can either pay them off with 3 coin, they beat you up and you take 2 harm, or you tell them what they want to know and you get 3 heat because of it.
I'm paying these bitches off.
Which would probably put you there. Again, this is if we go flipped or interrogation. And then you can resist each of those consequences separately.
I'll fight the police. I don't care.
Who wants to make some bacon? Oink oink.
Oink oink!
And then arrest is inspector presents a case file of evidence to a magistrate to begin prosecution of your crew. Blue coats send a detail to arrest you. This is what happened last time.
Yeah.
Pay them off. You either pay them off with coin equal to your wanted level plus 3, So it'd be 5 or no, yeah, wanted level plus 3, so it'd be 5 coin. Hand someone over for arrest or try to evade capture.
I'm down for interrogation.
Should we do that since we had arrest last time?
Yeah.
That sounds reasonable.
Okay.
I could also, since we're wanted level 2, and then if I go in, it's only a wanted level 1 because of my special move.
That's true. We could send Salome back to prison for a few weeks.
Oh, I should.
Salome's got the moves.
Sorry, I forgot to say, they beat you up and you tell them what they want to know for the second one.
Aw.
So,
Oh.
but you can pay them off with 3 coin without the harm. So it's either 3 coin or you take the level 2 harm and some heat.
But you can resist.
You can resist, yeah.
You could always resist arrest, isn't it?
So, but if you're going, you
What
want
do
to
you
pay them off, you can just do that.
Thoughts?
Pay him off. We have a week to get all of these heartstones.
Oh, that's right.
together.
No, I cannot go back to prison right
we
now.
can't
No,
send
no,
you
no,
off
no,
to jail.
no.
We're
Yeah,
out of
yeah,
time
because we gotta get
crunch.
the shit done. All right.
We've got all this money. Like, we can do it.
Pay from the stash.
We never do it the easy way. Let's do it
That's
the
very
easy
true.
way.
Let's do
One
it the easy
time.
way for once. Okay.
Okay.
That's fine. Let's pay him off.
So the question that it poses here is, how did they manage to capture you?
For interrogation?
Mhm.
Ooh, interesting.
Oh, I guess
Did you go in-
who's Salome's getting
Did you-
interrogated?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be Salome. I mean, anyone can.
Did you go in to tip them off? As to, well, actually, no. They can find the body on their own. They've got resources for that. Never mind.
Oh, no. It could be. Like, maybe it's while I was trying to do some of my downtime stuff and
Do some good deeds.
do a good deed for the Jenkins family, and they were maybe there talking to the family.
God, it was Leroy Jenkins.
Leroy Jenkins!
Salome of the jewelry box, what are you doing here? Murder? Question mark? Alright, you're coming in.
Yes, because Salome of all people, when accosted, is gonna go.
Yes, that's the
no.
joke, she wouldn't.
You motherfucker, be nice.
Okay.
You don't get to be mean. You were 15 minutes late to call today.
I was sleepy. Okay.
It's okay.
You have to be nice today. That's your punishment.
That's your
I'm
punishment.
typically 15 minutes early to the call.
are
And
super
that's
early,
very
yeah.
true.
I'm allowed one fuck up.
Yeah, your
So-
punishment is that you can't be as mean today.
Fine.
So while you were kind of sniffing around, looking to make amends with the Jenkins family, man, do I just get mean here and describe his lovely partner and
Again.
and 6 kids and
God,
Just
me.
went
again.
through this with the helpers.
God
Fuck
again.
me.
Do it again.
here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a
No,
fortune
it turns
roll.
out she's just a real piece of shit.
We're gonna leave this up to a fortune roll.
Let's
So
go.
The roll is how many kids he had. It's between 1 and 6.
the rolls is gonna be on a okay, we'll do it this way. Worked on the train. Let's see. So we'll say 6 family man, married, bunch of kids. 4 and 5 was like, you know, had like,
Lived at
talented-
home but took good care of his mother.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then 1 to 3 was kind of a loner, and doesn't really have much family to speak of. So let's see. That's a 4. Okay.
Okay.
So
Taking care of his sick mother.
yeah, I was taking care of his mother, and you know, kind of a good, upstanding person, but didn't leave any dependents behind. So
Except for his poor sick mother.
well, except for poor sick mother.
I'm taking care of Mrs. Jenkins. Don't you worry.
So you get snatched up by the bluecoats during this time when you're kind of I think again you are now a known criminal.
Yeah.
You've been to prison. It's you did your time. However, you are kind of on the books. So you get grabbed by some of the blue coats.
Salome is very hard to forget, so it's understandable.
And your reaction to this, and I'd say you probably spend like about 48 hours in holding by with the blue coats as they're questioning you, but you're able to strike a deal with someone in charge there, maybe utilizing your connections with like Jaren, and able to pay your way out, essentially. So
Cool.
we won't belabor the point on this. You pay 3 coin, and but you did not have to accrue any more heat.
Cool. Do we want to pay it out of the vault, or I can give my spending money toward it?
Up to you.
Thoughts?
I mean, the vault is full.
I'll pay my spending money, and then if y'all want to take 2 from the vault, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, not too painful. So we can go ahead and get into downtime now. So what does that? Well, I guess we'll start with indulging vices, including stress, or in Arch's case, drain. So what is everybody? Who is clearing stress?
I'm clearing stress.
Yeah. Which you don't have to roll anymore, right? You just
I
clear
just do
5.
5 flat. Someone walks
Wow,
in. There
that's
is a like giant wire connected to Fume's heartstone, and he's just sitting there in like a leather armchair reading a book.
Who else is everybody else doing there?
I am,
Stress
because I'm
relief.
currently sitting at 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do some other stuff, so I'm only at 4. I'm gonna leave it.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not. I'm at 2. I'm
Oh yeah. Yeah.
surprisingly unstressed.
Grackle's chill, man.
Chill.
She chill.
4 to 5.
Woo!
5. Nice. So what is your vice now?
Weird.
Weird.
That's fun.
So
They
you can
play
just-
bridge with some spirits.
Yeah.
It's very rejuvenating.
I started summoning ghosts and teaching them board games.
Yeah, so you clear
Today we're playing Parcheesi. So if you don't know the rules,
I got a great one for you today. It's called
Playing
Jumanji.
Calvin Ball with a Ouija board.
cool. So you clear 5.
Yep.
You're good. Fume clears 5. He's good. So that's only a couple, or that's 2 actions now. Or actually, Fume, does yours take an action? Is like yours done as one of your downtime actions?
It's considered it's a downtime action like clearing stress.
Got it. Cool. Awesome. So that is stress for those of you that need it. I guess let's do Grackle and Salome. What do you want as your first action?
I'm gonna go ahead and clear some heat.
Okay.
I'll see how that shakes out.
So, for clearing heat, I roll my lowest of my.
No. So clearing heat is up to you what kind of action roll you want to do.
Oh, great.
So the examples it gives here is maybe you consort with your friends, your friend who's a blue coat. Maybe you command the fear of local citizens. You can do. It's up to you how does Salome go about getting some heat off the crew.
Now that all my resolves are the same, for fun, we'll do. Command is Obedience with your force of personality.
Mhm.
I like that one. Not intimidation. I don't think Salome is the one to like go about and show how dangerous she can be. That's quiet. That's insidious. That's her preferred way of being scary. But for the neighborhood, I think she's gonna do some voluntary community service, I think.
Okay.
So like giving out some like actually nice like food and groceries. Making sure that the kiddos in the neighborhood, I think what's our butler's name now? I forget his name.
Derek.
Derek. She's gonna convince Derek to go around with like a little velocipede with like a little thing in it and like hand out icy pops to the kids in the neighborhood. Like, we're going full community service here.
Okay. I love it. So again, bolstering your situation with the community to help get something like they're upstanding citizens. They've turned turned over a new leaf. Okay. So yeah, go ahead and roll and see how well that went for you.
Okay. Ooh, I got a 6! Oh, I got a double 6! Oh shit!
Oh!
Shit. Okay.
Critical.
So with a critical
166.
with a critical success, you clear 5.
Ooh.
Yes.
So that that
Woo!
almost
Ain't gonna need no
negates
help from me.
the heat that you got.
Yeah, we only have 2 now.
Yes. Hell yeah.
That's wonderful.
Those kids loved them icy pops.
Yeah, I mean, y'all have been the jewelry box has been a part of the neighborhood here for a long time. I mean, obviously y'all are brothel, so you can only get so family friendly. But
Mhm.
Pillar
I
of the
think
community.
yeah,
Don't
I mean,
worry, I can melt down the dick-shaped popsicles and put them into actual popsicle molds.
Yes.
it's maybe a little bit outreach to to the kids, but I think mostly it's the other businesses in the area see that you're putting in an effort to
Yeah. Give the local restaurant some of our
Yeah.
excess and yeah.
more people that are vouch for you and stand up for you when the time comes, or if something if the blue coats were to come down on you. So that's awesome. You are successful in doing that. Your heat, most of the heat is off you. Wonderful. So that's 1 for 3. Grackle, what is your first downtime action?
It's a good question. I was gonna reduce heat, but now that is no longer a thing that we need. Any assets we want to acquire? I don't need to reduce my stress right now, so like I've got some free actions here. I'm leaving it up to the table.
Are you still hurt though? Do you need to do some healing?
Yeah. Well, if you command Grackle to heal myself.
Relax.
You've got a 2 injury. That's
Yeah, we should probably work on
Yeah,
that.
do some healing. I still have the freebie too flying around.
I've got injuries that I've been holding on for so long that I renamed them so that they sound a little bit more chronic. Yeah, okay. If you force Grackle to like sit down and take care of herself, then
Yes, I think I invite Grackle to a sort of council meeting to I don't know, talk about dealing with like a particularly annoying blue coat, and she just walks in the room like Goodfellas style, and the room is actually empty except for Melvir's there, and she goes, "Motherfucker!" And instead of getting iced, she gets healed. So yeah.
it's so funny.
All right,
It's like- It's played up like it's gonna be a fucking yeah. Oh, great.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Wonderful. How do I do this again?
so
It's been so long.
it
Melvir
is
or Fume, or Fume is in there, right? Whoever wants to actually do the
depends.
healing.
Yeah. Yeah, ironically, like when Fume became our primary physician, Grackle just stopped going to the doctor. Weird. Physiker rolls Tinker to fill the PC's healing clock. So
Mm-hmm.
either that or with no Physiker, I pay a stress to do it. PC Physiker does not require a downtime action to heal, only to recover.
Oh.
What's the difference between healing and recovering?
Healing would be, recovering would be to heal myself. I would still need to spend the downtime action. But if I were to just go out and say, okay, I'm going to patch you up, it wouldn't cost me an
Yeah.
action because it's taking your action.
Got it. That makes more sense. Okay. Cool. The person who's being healed is the one who gets the action 8.
Cool.
You could heal yourself, and it costs 2 stress, but you have to be a Physiker.
Nah.
Or you can have an NPC Physiker to do it as an acquired asset. All right.
I think
is-
Fume's probably our best. Excuse me. Fume's probably our best bet at this point, right?
All right.
Yeah, probably. Belvier's good, but I think Fume's got a better action rating when it comes to Physiker stuff. He's actually, do you still have that, your Physiker?
I still have Physiker, yeah.
Okay, cool. Just want to make sure. Fume didn't forget how to be a doctor when he became a robot.
All right.
Now he's just a robot doctor.
Yours, Doc.
Yeah, he turns around with an ice pick in one hand and a hammer in the other. Said you're worse, right? I could do better.
So, honestly, one of the things I have written down here is migraines. So, yeah, quick lobotomy.
You
Oh
lobotomized.
God, no! No!
I mean, listen, migraines will be
Right at the nose. Scramble it around in there a little bit.
Oh God! So all cognitive thought. Jesus
And hey,
Christ!
When I have
listen.
migraines, I sometimes seriously consider just having someone rip my brain out of my skull.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Listen, Jack, now when you say you have half a mind to do something, it'll be true.
I have half a mind.
God damn it, Bojack.
All right. Yeah, so Fume, you want to roll for that?
Yeah.
You're the one who has to roll. You have to do that. Do that. Too.
Yeah. Bop, bop, bop. 6. That's 4, right?
Let me double check, but I think you're correct. I'm on the wrong page. I was looking at other stuff. How dare I? Downtime activities. Recover. Yeah. 6, 3 segments.
3 segments. All right, I have 2 segments filled already.
It
So-
bleeds over.
Um,
Clears that one, carries over to another if you have another injury.
Take 2 of these.
reduce all harms by 1 level. Is it all the harms?
Well, did we learn something new? Hold on.
I'm looking at
Because I don't think you can reduce your 2 into 1.
It says when you fill your healing clock, reduce each instance of harm on your sheet by 1 level, then clear the clock.
Sick.
Damn.
Okay. So
Alright.
any level 2s go down to a level 1. Any level 1s go away.
Disappear.
Gonzo. All right, now I just have a bad
This-
That's
shoulder.
actually a lot better than what I
learning
thought. With
this levels out, sort of evens out with learning that none of our skills could be a 4.
Yeah.
You know?
Here's
Sure
the
does.
all things.
This part we were doing
balanced.
harder than it had to be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start reading things out loud more often.
Yeah. No, it's really good.
That's
And it's-
fantastic.
Okay.
It's one of those things that like there was a time where this was how it was when I was like running D&D and stuff. Where it was like, oh, now I'm learning how this works instead. We're just learning a new system. Interesting.
Migraines gone. Chronic cough gone. Now all I have is a bad shoulder.
There you go.
which is
Hey.
more of a stiff shoulder now because it's just a 1 harm.
Yeah, I'll put that down. I'll say it's stiff shoulder.
You know when it's gonna rain.
I do.
Just the humidity and the pressure.
Grackle, like, her cough is cleared up, and she's like not as much of a dick anymore for some reason. Just like, like
It's because
not-
she can get some sleep now without having a migraine.
not enough like fucking, there's not so much like mean mugging anymore. Just,
What do
like,
you know? The relief of chronic pain makes people's lives better. American healthcare system. Sorry.
Now, Grackle, you're going to have to trust me on this, but join me for this smoke session.
All right,
You just
Doc.
blaze up with her too. I love it.
Whatever you say, Doc.
This is an interesting thing too.
Professor Doctor, I
You
didn't
also
spend all
clear
that
up
time
her
in these-
glaucoma. It's great.
No, we don't want that. She uses those, because those are her guns.
She was only calling him
glaucoma.
old man before. Like,
Did
now
you-
suddenly she's like respecting his vocation. Like, holy shit, it's a whole new woman.
I want to back up a little bit to glaucoma. Because I'm not sure everyone heard it.
Oh. I did. I was gonna leave.
And I want
It's
to...
spelled differently.
I just
right?
want to make
Yeah.
sure everybody heard it.
I missed that, and now I caught it.
So
Now
we
I'm
kind of
angry.
glazed over the fact that RJ just said, no, she needs those. They're her guns. Glaucoma. I don't think we should have talked about CSI Miami so much before this
I don't
stream.
think so. I think it was a mistake.
What are you talking about? This is my average level.
I was about to say.
That was an
We did
incredible-
not.
That was an incredible thing to say, and I just wanted
You're
to put a
paying
hat
more
on it.
attention to it because of the CSI.
I wanted to put a
You're
put a hat on
delusional
it.
if you think anything we do is gonna change the level of puns we get from RJ.
Oh, I've been delusional for a very long time. Don't worry about it.
One thing I
just
just
loved
read
that.
here.
I just loved it.
Yeah. One thing I read here, whenever you suffer a new harm, you clear any ticks on your healing clock.
Oh, okay.
So if you're making progress towards healing and you get a new harm,
It goes
that
away?
progress towards healing goes away.
Oh.
Well, I haven't
Yeah.
had a new harm in a while, so.
Nah,
Yeah.
I've just been healing, thank God.
Yeah, y'all have been avoiding harms. Since I dropped so many on you that one job, and it's like, no, please.
Body ouch.
I'm still healing from that big one. I
Yeah.
still got my limp.
Well, that's one action for everyone, so let's take it back around for second actions.
Do we have any outstanding like research or long-term projects? No, we just have we're building in Hollow Sightings currently, right?
Yeah, we've finished all our projects.
Yeah, and those were
Is there is there an asset that we could secure that would help us with this upcoming job?
That was my question.
Ooh.
Oh wait, weren't we gonna do what's her fuck? Esther. Didn't we need to like make her a permanent?
if you want to make her a permanent ally, or a
You'd have to
permanent
acquire
cohort.
her, right?
Yeah, let me see the rules here. If you want to acquire an asset permanently, you can either gain it as a crew upgrade or work on it as a long-term project to set up permanent acquisition.
Okay.
So you
I'm
can
down for that.
you can either wait till you get an advancement and acquire her as an upgrade, or
We gotta get mastery.
Yeah, but we want mastery
we
really bad.
gotta
I
get
think.
mastery.
So
or,
what we could
yeah,
do is we could just blitz it with all of our actions.
you could do a long-term project to acquire her as a.
I'll go in
I'm
on
down for
that
that.
since I started
Yeah.
it, and
Okay.
I'm really nervous about. I don't want to overindulge my device again.
That's fair.
I only have 3 stress. I think I'll just.
By the way, where are y'all tracking your cohorts?
They're on the cruise.
On the cruise sheet.
Yeah, on the cruise.
Oh, they're on the cruise sheet. Okay, I didn't know
all
if
the
there
way
was.
to the far right hand side.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely. Okay,
I
cool.
put them on there.
Thank you.
Don't
I wanted to.
freaking worry about it. I got it. I got it. Don't worry
He got this.
Okay, so
I know my way around a character sheet. All right. Don't worry about it.
So you're wanting to acquire her as like an expert. Do you know what type of? Oh, actually, we don't have the types for Steiner or Smash and Grab on here on the gang.
They weren't on the previous sheet then, because I ported everything over.
Yeah, I don't think they had the space on the other ones.
What are
We'll
the
talk about
types?
this in a second. But yeah, so you
Well,
want
Smash and Grab are skulks, so we know that much.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you can put them. You can put skulks as types for them, and then Steiner is an assassin. So
Assassin.
you just put assassin.
And the grackles are birds.
They're hunters.
Birds.
God,
They're
No, they're
they're
more
birds.
scavengers than anything.
You know what?
they're on.
I don't want to hear
Uh,
it.
wonderful. Thank you for updating that. So,
Yeah.
you want to start a project for that?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
The 8 crazy minutes.
Crazy
Sorry, you can't do
daisy.
this to me.
Fume is going to need a new bird. Headcanon that Wintershins is attached to Emilian now because that's Fume's old body.
Oh.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Uh, okay. So let's start this as a. Let's do this as a 6-segment clock.
Okay.
Your new bird is called Bunsen.
Aww.
Bunsen!
I love that.
After the doctor or the burner?
Why not both?
Yes.
Pyromaniac Grackle. Got it.
Inspired by the incendiary pigeons that took out the Library of Alexandria. That's false history. There was incendiary pigeons at one point, though.
Yeah. Like how there were explosive rats and...
What the fuck
Wait.
are you guys talking about?
I'm sorry. Was her name Esther or Ethel? I don't remember.
Esther.
Esther. That one.
Because
For
we
sure
made all
it was
those
Esther.
orphan jokes.
That's right. Okay.
Not about chat. Not about actual orphans. About the
Movie.
movie Orphan. I just realized how that sounded.
that out of context,
Because we
somebody
made-
clips that.
Oh,
It's like,
no.
We made all
You
those
know,
orphan
yeah,
jokes.
those orphan jokes. About the movies with the well, I don't want to spoil the movie Orphan if you guys haven't seen
It's
it.
Yeah.
based off a real life lady.
That twist.
It's also almost
pretty
10 years
crazy.
old. It's all good.
She was dead the whole time.
She was dead. It was a ghost. The water is what killed them.
So you're telling me the water kills you and turns you gay?
That's not how you spell Esther, by the way. There's an H in it.
Is there?
EST.
ESTHER.
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 I mean, I guess
Esther.
it can be spelled that way. No one's.
Yeah,
There's
don't
no
tell me how
rule.
I spell my NPC names.
Basketball, it's not.
E-E-S-T-E-R.
My favorite thing about being a TM is spelling things wrong and telling all that it's the right way to spell it.
Because it's a fantasy world.
Exactly.
No
Okay,
H's in fantasy.
So
Put as many
what
apostrophes in this name as I want.
skill do you think? How do you think Glass is going about convincing her to be a full cohort of your group? This is kind of getting her involved in the criminal side of your business.
Yeah.
Too.
I don't know. I think maybe I'm like halfway between just like talking to her and just trying to sway and be like,
Take her to
"Listen,
lunch.
I know you're legit and I know you can handle this and this could be really sort of a win-win situation." Or just like taking her out for like a test crime. Being like, "All right, you plan a little job."
A ride along.
Yeah, like a crime along. I don't know. They're both funny to me.
Go with your heart.
I'm gonna have her plan a little test, a little like a B&E or something.
Okay.
Be like, here, you're in charge of this one. You tell me how you think we should do this.
Add 2 completions to that. Fume will use his analyst ability to give you 2 ticks on that clock already, and I'll say that he provides tools for Esther, like gets her some starting gear.
I love it. Okay, so 2 ticks on that.
Yeah.
All right. Don't. Okay. And what do you want to roll?
I guess prowl.
Sure.
Maybe do I have that?
You're kind of impressing her with your
Yeah.
criminal mastery.
Yeah. Being like, listen, actually, this is really fucking cool. You're gonna love this. You're gonna love this. That's 4.
It's a 4?
A 4.
Okay. So I think that's 2 segments. Yeah, it's 2 segments,
Nice.
which puts us at 4 out of 6.
Salome still has her freebie to give out.
Yeah, so Glass spends some time during the week trying to persuade Esther to joining your
Hanging out.
organization. Everyone else has a second
Showing
action.
her how the business really works.
Do we need anything crafted?
What's your all?
Do we want anything crafted?
I could start making specialized gear for everyone.
It could be fun.
That could be really cool.
Like, what's it? Lockpicks that slide into a ring because it's, like, very flexible metal.
That's really fun. Trying to.
Could make the effect, it doesn't consume a load, but it's like a one-time deal, like, use on the mission.
Okay. So, what's the...
It'd be a crafting check.
Yeah, I was thinking, because they're the tools that you have.
It would count as having burglary gear for, like, one usage.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so you want to essentially you want to make some zero load burglary gear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Time to tinker, tanker, tonk.
So let's talk about what the quality of that's going to be. Let's see.
It's gonna be
crafting.
a +1 because of my artificer trait.
Okay, so essentially are we inventing this as a new formula? Because this isn't something you've made before.
Right.
This is something new.
Because
that
then
you're
I'd have
inventing.
to, like, do the research and development first, and then do the crafting.
Yeah. Yeah. Because basically, yeah, you need the schematics for, like, you need to know how to make it before you start making it.
Yeah.
But hold on, let's see. Adding a feature or additional function to an item is simpler than creating something new. You don't need to invent a special formula or plan. Make a crafting roll to modify an item. As a baseline quality of an item you modify is equal to your crew's tier. Simple modification requires +1 quality.
Which we can do.
Yeah. So if it's a simple, so we decide what. So this isn't a new item. This is an item that you're modifying. So simple is like a rifle that breaks down to 2 sections to be more easily concealed. This is probably like in line with that. It's
it's shrinking down the burglary kit to be more inconspicuous.
Yeah. So and then this isn't okay. So yeah, we will do it that way. Let's say it's going to be a simple, useful modification. So it's going to be tier +1. So your tier's 2. So it's going to be a 3 quality item.
4 quality item due to my artificer trait.
Okay. So does that mean, what is the artificer trait? Because that might give you the advantage in rolling for, because making it a 3 quality item makes it harder to obtain. But I think your thing lets you basically anytime you roll.
Oh, it's +1 to the result level. So
got it.
Yeah,
okay,
it's afterwards.
So it's a tier plus. So it's a tier 3 item. So you go ahead and roll tinker.
Okay.
Y'all don't have the workshop upgrade, right?
We
Not
did.
yet. Oh no, we did get you.
Yeah.
We got you the workshop as a
Yeah.
as a consolation for no longer having 4s and stuff.
Okay, that also increases your quality by 1. So the
Oh my god.
so you rolled a 5.
Yeah.
Okay, so 5 means the quality is equal to your tier, so that's 2, and then you get +1 for a workshop, and then you get +1 for your
Artificer.
ability. Yeah. So
And if I
Tier
spend
4.
if I spend a coin, I can increase it by another one.
well, so that just
Right.
means you get the item stays at tier 3.
Okay.
Because the item is a tier 3 item, but you've essentially achieved it.
Got it.
Let me double check there's no effects for getting higher. Uh I guess an item may be crafted at higher quality if the player wishes to attempt it. So essentially, you have to decide ahead of time whether it's going to be a higher quality item than what it is.
Right. But due to my feature and the wording of it, it's the result levels
Yeah.
of the roll.
Yeah, and then it says you may spend coin 1 for 1 to increase the final quality level result of your roll. Oh, that's just for the roll. Okay. So it's kind of the way that I'm understanding it is it's kind of a gamble, like based on what resources and how good you think you can roll on it.
Mhm.
If you want it to be, if we start off at it being, we're saying this is gonna be a tier 3 item, you can decide ahead of time, actually, I want to craft it at a tier 5.
Like essentially a masterwork.
Yeah, you're saying like I actually want to craft that better than what it would normally be. In which case you commit to that and then you make the roll and see if you achieve it.
Got it.
So, but we'll keep this as a tier 3 for now,
Mhm.
which is good because again, it's some with items like we've talked about before. Essentially, you can replace the tier of the item with the roll with the attribute roll you would make. So somebody who's not good at lockpicking could use these instead, in addition to the whatever the functions of the item are. So we do modified item like special creations may have drawbacks. May have one or more drawbacks chosen by the GM. The GM. So I'm gonna say we're gonna
Easily
go
misplaced.
we're gonna go with consumable.
Okay.
Like we were talking about, where it's like a one-use thing. It's I like that. So
So we don't have to worry about using it again.
yes.
Well, I could make a project later on to make this a permanent asset. Just have like a bunch of rings in our finger sizes.
Let's see. Yeah, so let's go with that. So it's a 0 load set of burglar's tools. So you don't have to worry about spending load to have them. But once you use them, they're gone.
Yeah. You'll do like rec rolls with a 3 if you use this,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah. Okay. So that's Fume's action. Everybody has a set of those. Who else still has actions left?
Me. I also have a freebie floating around too, so if we want to continue.
Use the freebie on something.
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna do?
Could rush the Esther clock.
Yes. How about... Yes, I will help with the Esther clock, and also I might use my freebie to... I don't know if this would be acquiring an asset, but I need to make amends with Jenkins' family.
Yeah, whichever one you want to do. I guess it depends on what you want to get out of the Jenkins, because that's something you can just say you do, unless there's something you want to get out of it as part of your downtime action.
Yeah, like an asset would give you like a mechanical bonus of some sort.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming we took a negative hit with the rail folks after that job.
Yeah, I dropped y'all's. You're at a -1 with the Ministry of Preservation. You're where are the rail? Oh yeah, well I gotta add them. -1 with the rail jacks.
Maybe then.
I also took a -1 with the church for that one too.
Are we now at a minus? Are we just at a -1 with the church,
Yeah.
or are we at a -2 with the church?
No,
Okay.
you're at a -1. You're all at 0. And then I would have given you all +1 with the Leviathan Hunters, but you already got +3, so I can't up that anymore.
There. Yeah. Let me, if we're cool with it, unless someone had other ideas about the freebie, I'll use my second to work on the Esther clock, and then maybe we do something that involves taking care of the Jenkins family. So maybe bringing back up our score with the Railjacks. So, we're welcome on our favorite mode of transportation, trains, again.
Yeah, you could start that as a long-term project,
Cool.
essentially.
Cool. Let's do that.
Sounds good
All
to
right.
me.
So which one are you doing right now?
I'll do Esther right now.
Okay.
Um,
So how does Salome contribute to this?
the idea being that we need her to stick with us.
You're trying to
loyalty-wise,
recruit.
yes.
No, you're trying to recruit her as an expert for your group. Essentially, she works for y'all right now, but she's not going to be involved in any of your like criminal affairs. You're essentially recruiting her.
Okay. Then I think some very schmoozy brunches. Yeah. I think we're gonna do a lovely sway here, of just really doing the hard sell on the benefits of working exclusively with our organization.
Okay. So for that, you can roll sway. You just need a 4 to finish out the clock.
All right.
Nice.
Woo! I got a 5.
Nice.
All right. So that is finished out. So let's take a little bit of a aside to build Esther as a cohort for y'all.
Woohoo!
You successfully recruited her. Let me get up a section on cohorts. It is...
We choose what kind of expert she is. Either an investigator, an occultist, an assassin, a spy, a doctor. I don't think there's like a list of experts. I think that we just decide what kind of expert she is.
Yeah, kind of what she's an expert in, and anything she does with that, she gets an additional quality rating on top of it. So y'all are plus every cohort you'll have is at a 2 because that's your tier rating. Experts make their rolls as a 3.
An expert has a quality equal to your current crew tier +1.
Yes. So it's kind of what y'all see her bringing to the table here. So what do you think Esther's area of expertise is in this case? Examples they have here are like doctor, investigator, occultist, assassin, spy, etc.
Maybe spy, since she's working at the coffers and is going to run into some potentially high profile clientele. Does that
That makes sense to me.
make sense?
Okay, we'll create her as a spy. Also, actually, this is a good question for y'all get certain advantages with different types of experts and cohorts. I like your skulks. Hold on. Y'all are shadows. No, y'all shadows?
Yes.
So, okay.
Yes.
Making sure. It's been so long. Actually, it might be a thing every crew gets. Oh yeah, so like elite skulks, because y'all took that, right?
Yes.
So that's like all your cohorts with the skulk type get an additional 1 die quality rolls. So skulks, rooks. Okay, so there's nothing for experts since it's rod. Got it. I just want to make sure. All right, so you're creating her as a spy. And then we decide on edges and flaws for Esther. So we get 1 or 2 edges and an equal number of flaws. The edges are on page 96 in the book. They're fearsome, independent, loyal, and tenacious. Fearsome means the cohort is terrifying in aspect and reputation. Independent is the cohort can be trusted to make good decisions and act on their own initiative in absence of direct orders. Loyal, the cohort can't be bribed or turned against you. And tenacious, the cohort won't be deterred from a task.
I put that list in our chat.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So you can pick one or two. But however many you pick, she gets an equal number of flaws.
I like the idea of her being independent and loyal.
That makes the most sense for kind of what we
Yeah.
need of her. But
That does require us to give her 2 flaws.
yeah, that's my thing, and I don't know if we make her independent and loyal if some of the others make sense as well. It's like she's loyal, but she's extremely unreliable. She's loyal and a total flake. Like,
Yeah, well,
All of our other cohorts have 2 and 2.
okay,
yeah, the unreliable doesn't necessarily mean that she's not good at her job. It just means that she's not always available. So
She's
maybe she has
very-
other obligations that might keep
Yeah.
her from being able to help you all the time.
Right.
Then for the other flaws are principled, so she has ethics or values that she won't betray. Savage, cohort is extremely violent or cruel, and wild, the cohort is drunken, debauched, and loudmouthed.
I mean, I don't think we have a lot of principled cohorts, so
that kind of makes sense for the way that we've sort of navigated this. Is that we weren't 100%
We
that we
actually
could bring her
were.
I'll say-
along.
You have 2 out of your 3 are
That are
principled.
principled. Steiner
Are
and
they? I thought-
Steiner
oh, yes,
and
we have
Smash and
Steiner.
Grab.
Well, and
Yeah.
Steiner's principles are a little different. Like his
Steiner-
principle is, I'm only
Well,
killing people. That's it.
We've only got unreliable, principled, and wild. The Grackles are unreliable and wild. Steiner's unreliable and principled, and Smash and Grab are wild and principled.
Uh-huh.
Let me
Right.
put
Could she be savage? Could she be so savage?
Absolute savage.
but
Like, if you
But-
piss her off, oh boy.
but it's not like physical violence. She will ruin your
ruin
reputation.
your life.
Yes, she will
your
ruin your
life
life.
Without ever laying
Yeah.
a finger on you.
relentlessly violent and cruel.
Like, if she was here now, she would go on a full, like, social media and email campaign to just
Yeah.
ruin you.
From the shadows.
Yes,
You
you
are
never know it was
canceled.
her.
Okay,
You
sure.
get canceled.
We'll
Esther will
make her-
cancel you.
We'll make her principled and savage. She'll dox you.
Oh, yeah. Fully.
Alright, so
She's the one who
principled,
calls your job and gets you fired.
Yes, 100%.
savage, and what did we say? Independent and loyal.
Yeah.
Okay, so she has the same edges as the Grackles.
Yeah.
Ever been compared to a flock of grackles?
It's a compliment. It's a
Her
compliment.
and
Esther
the
and the
birds
Grackles get along very well.
instantly.
Shall I compare thee to a flock of grackles?
That's how we finally get Grackle on board. Is that the birds are just like instantly like
They
"No, we
love
love
her."
her.
They're
Birds of
down.
a feather.
She's also a bird.
Which,
She's
by the
secret
way,
gay
So what is
Sure.
her quality?
2?
R
'Cause-
tier plus 1.
So 3.
Three.
It's 3. But the difference with like experts is they're only gonna do the things that they're experts in. Like
Mhm.
she's only gonna spy. She's not gonna go kill people. The same way Steiner is gonna kill people. It's not gonna go like spy for you or rough people up.
This is the ship we've been waiting for. We end up having to put them both together to do stuff.
Buddies.
Yes.
It's like, well, he won't spy and you won't kill, so y'all go together.
So that you can do the spying and he can do the killing.
you got
There you
your
go.
murder in my spying.
You
Got your spying in my murder.
Which I
Sorry.
think now that I'm looking at it, I think y'all's your skulks are bigger now. I think you have more people.
Yeah. We're slowly amassing.
I'm trying to figure out where the list. Okay, so you're
How many?
because y'all are tier 2. Medium gang is 12 people.
12.
Yes.
That's double what we had before.
Hey,
We had 6.
Y'all remember when we were covering up holes in the jewelry box with rugs and like just sort of maneuvering people around them so they didn't step in them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look how far we've come. Just
Let's see how far we've gone.
Like, and then when you go up to 3, it's 20, 4 is 40, 5 is 80.
Nice.
Yeah.
6
An
is
army.
160.
I forgot that Smash and Grab are unionized.
They are
Smash
unionized,
and
yeah.
Grab and Co. is what I have them as.
I've been waiting to get a complication where essentially their their union leader comes forward
You have to have a
to
meeting with the
negotiate.
union rep.
Yeah.
That's
See,
so funny.
not a complication. Immediately, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
surprised
okay,
you didn't
we
come
need-
forward more. Thank you for bringing these to my attention.
You know what?
Exactly.
Company weekend. We're gonna do some
Retreat.
relaxing retreat. Sponsored.
I don't think we've come up with the rules yet, but I was just in my head. I was like, they drink for free on weekends, or they drink for free on weekdays.
Yeah.
They they get
I
a
love
certain
it.
number of paid holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Paid holidays, paid sick days.
Yeah.
Dental,
Medical,
visual.
Dent and
Uh-huh.
visual and medical, which is just Fume, basically.
Yeah.
Like,
401k.
yeah.
They
Do
get
we-
vouchers for using
They
the
have-
services
they're-
for discounted services at the jewelry box.
Their 401k is in the form of there's a little corner of the vault that's theirs.
Yeah.
Yep.
The
It's
retirement fund.
several
Yeah.
cubbies of like all of our people, and we just slip a bit inside every
Uh-huh.
now and again.
Every time.
And then they can come in and like put in things that they stole. Like we're also like
Yeah.
their
Safety
safety
deposit
deposit
box.
boxes.
Yeah, everybody's got their own box.
Yeah.
How pirates had like actually really good like insurance and like
Mhm.
their funerals and shit were paid for. And...
Yep.
That's cool.
That's
That
good.
shit's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
If we tier
Uh,
up one more time, then we can start matching their 401ks.
Matching their investments.
That's so funny.
We come in, they're like all drinking. It's like, what's the occasion? Oh, Smash is fully vested. Yeah!
Yeah!
All right.
Grab's account has finally matured. Yay!
Lovely. Does anyone have who has actions left?
I have remaining
tapped.
I think we're done.
Yeah.
I have an action
Grackle.
still.
Oh,
Do it.
Grackle is one, then we have a free one.
Yes.
Oh my god, I forgot about the free one.
I want a ghost horse.
Ghost horse. Ghost horse.
Ghost
I
horse.
have passed on taking the ghost hunter upgrade too many times because I keep on waiting for my ghost horse, and I'm all like, no, I have to make that happen myself. I didn't have to spend for a vice today. I'm gonna
Be the ghost
splurge.
horse you want to see in the world.
I'm gonna splurge on a ghost horse. And hey, we already have the cohort rules open. So the question is that a cohort or is that like some other kind of asset that we need to like let's work this
no,
out.
so I believe the terms of the playbook for the
Is hunting
hound
pet, right?
it's another hunting pet that you want. And
Okay.
essentially, instead of making your we talked about this. I don't remember if it was on stream or off, but I know we talked about you didn't want to make the grackles you didn't want to turn the grackles into ghosts.
I don't want to kill my grackles.
But we wanted to do a second hunting pet. So I think we would just do it as a project to acquire one. Because so normally if y'all wanted like an expert or you wanted to get a cohort, it's like might be a project to find one and then a project to actually make it a cohort. That's kind of what we did with Esther. Glass did, I don't remember if we did it as a project or acquire asset, but you acquired the asset and you did it, which actually we could do it maybe as an acquire asset instead of a, since you have, I want to be more lenient with it because you have the upgrade. Taking pictures of the cats.
Sorry.
No, it's just funny because I could see the screen so well.
Too cute.
I'll send it to the GGK server.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with just doing it as an acquire asset, and then you can take that upgrade whenever you're ready. So acquiring the asset though of acquiring a ghost horse is I want to know how Grackle is doing this.
I know exactly how this is happening. Do you remember when Grackle disappeared for a few weeks?
Uh-huh.
Because she was tracking this horse down.
You've been hunting down a specific ghost horse.
Yeah.
I
Well,
love
like
it.
at first, yeah, it's I think it's like a critter that keeps on like attacking her scav group.
Got
And
it.
she was tracking it to kill it. And then she came across it and it was a horse, and like the horse girl in her couldn't do it. Like she saw it in the distance, she had it lined up in her shot, like, you know, she had the crosshairs on it, and she was ready to pull the trigger, and then she didn't. And it
Okay. I love that. So what you will do for acquiring it is you roll the crew's tier, and the resulting case the quality asset you get. Um, and then I set a minimum quality level that has to be achieved in order to get the particular asset. Uh, hmm. So, what would the quality of a ghost horse be?
Incredible.
That's a good question. Um,
Essentially,
but
I mean, we know what it's going to end up being, which will be your tier. Uh,
uh-huh.
so
+1.
yeah. So I think we'll just set it at that, is that you have to get a result equal to your tier in order to acquire this, to hunt down this horse. So let's go ahead and do that. So you're just gonna roll 2 dice. Um,
Can do, pal. You want me to just roll 2 dice? Gosh, like, is there a button for a fortune
Fortune?
roll?
yeah, there should be one on the sheet.
Shoot.
It should be on the side. Yeah, side underneath friends.
Under.
All the way on the right
right-hand
side. Yeah. Underneath your skills, and then it's bonus die to push yourself. Friends, roll fortune.
I see. Roll fortune. Oh, it's so small. Okay.
I think
2
it's
dice.
average.
There we go.
Okay, so that's a 5, which I think is all you need. 5 is the result equals your tier, so you don't have to spend coin or anything. So how does Grackle acquire this ghost horse using the crew's resources?
Using the crew's resources. I think that there's just one day where she there's been a sighting, so she just like gathers up like some gear, some rations, and she goes out there, and she makes contact with it. Okay, all right, okay, it's a ghost horse, right?
Uh-huh.
Cruise resources. I asked Glass for help.
Okay.
Yeah.
Glass, say there was a ghost horse that I wanted to take into my ownership. How would I do that?
I'm sorry, can you say that one more time?
Okay, I'm gonna say it one more time. Please don't make me say it again. How would I take a ghost horse into my ownership?
Imagine I have several different ways of making this happen.
Oh, sure. The roll's already been done, so it's however you want to do it.
Do a ritual to summon a ghost horse. Yes! I got all this ritual magic I know how to do.
Uh-huh.
Thank goodness that I have this spell called Summon Ghost Horse.
I'm gonna set up a horse-themed ritual to attract and then
Carrots,
sort of lock
hay,
down
Some
a
oats.
ghost horse.
apples.
See, in Duskfall, that's actually a really pricey ritual.
Yeah.
Like actually getting
Apples?
carrots, apples.
Are you kidding
Who
me?
the fuck has apples?
For the last time, it's not a ritual, it's just gardening.
Yeah, I'm gonna
And we
set
call
Never heard of such a thing.
the ritual horse parade.
up horse parade.
Horse parade!
It's finally
It's
happened.
happening.
Full circle.
Oh, and then Flyers by Bradio starts playing
Yeah.
because Death
Okay.
Parade, that's the theme.
Yeah.
So what
God.
if we use a bridle that has like a ghost charm on it of some sort?
Yes, that's a great idea.
Love that.
Yeah.
We'll summon
I
the
do love
horse
that.
very patiently, and then gain its trust, and then put a ghost charmed bridle on it with
Right.
a little lead.
Onto it.
Is part of the ritual just like very carefully brushing a spectral horse?
Yeah.
I'm not beating the horse girl allegations with this one.
Are you even trying to? At this
Yeah,
point?
But you,
seriously. Why would you
but you
try?
are beating a
Not
dead
really.
horse.
Hey!
Hey!
Yeah.
Yeah. I think like I think in a different game, we would have like a bombastic like breaking scene where she has to like ride it for 5 days or whatever to like keep it, to like make it hers. But I feel like contrary to the expectation, it's actually very quiet and very subtle.
It's just a game of
and-
patience.
Yeah.
I imagine you like in the mists in the middle of the night riding your spectral horse through the streets of Dustfall.
Yeah.
Did you take the upgrade already, or is that something you're taking next?
I have the upgrade.
Okay. I just want to know whether we were describing this as something that is happening or something that
Or
has
something that would
over
happen in the future.
Yeah. So I think this is something that over the course of this downtime, that you spend time with your ghost horse, which I assume you're naming.
I did not walk into this.
Okay, we can come up with a.
Yeah.
You can go with the name
the
later.
obvious choice has to be Spectre, right?
I'll come up with something.
That's
Necroprancer, you can't beat this dead horse.
I will have to.
Shadowmere.
Shadowfax.
I
Seabiscuit.
I must confer with the elders.
Okay, we do need to go ahead and do.
Nosferatu.
Maze Ferratu.
Oh my god. So we do need to do the same thing though. So expert, it's still going to be hunting the same way that the Grackles were. We're going to do it kind of the same way, but I'm going to let you choose different edges and flaws for it.
Okay.
If you would like, or you do the same ones. But
I will not pick the same ones. We're going with tenacious
mm-hmm.
and fearsome for our
Mhm.
edges. And honestly, we're gonna go with savage and wild.
I love it. It's a drunk horse.
Drunk horse.
You can't break this Bronco.
A horse walks into a bar.
Grackle, get that horse out from
Wait,
my
wait.
bar.
Let me ask the question.
Go ahead.
Why the long face?
It kills you.
Now get out.
Rips your throat out.
And with that, I think we've done every horse joke that we possibly can. There are
Do you
none
have
left.
no faith in us? Are you serious? We
We'll
can go for
find
the
something.
remainder of the session with
And-
horse jokes.
And you know what? Salome still has a free action.
Yep.
I do.
Grackle just walks in and says whiskey for my men and beer for my horses.
Yep.
Oh.
Oh man. Okay. Well.
This is absolutely a horse that gets alcohol
Oh,
on
what?
a regular basis.
What are the effects for the ability though? What are you taking for your?
Oh, what is the
What's
so
your
what is the
special ability?
ghost hunter ability? Okay. Your hunting pet is imbued with spirit energy. It gains potency when tracking or fighting the supernatural, and gains an arcane ability, either ghost form, mind link, or arrow swift. Take this ability again and choose an additional arcane ability for your pet.
So
I take this twice.
yeah, so you're taking it once. So which ability is it starting out with?
I'm gonna go. Oh, there's so many cool things for a horse here. Let's go with Mind Link for now.
Okay.
Because then she can summon it from far away.
You mind link with the ghost horse, and it's just like flashes of trampling people to death and like the screams of war. You're like, that's some things we gotta work through.
Feed me blood.
And
Nice
a
horse.
sugar cube.
That's horsey.
Nice horse.
That's what I say. The horse is like, how dare you disrespect my power?
Now brush me.
My tail is getting matted.
I would like a French braid, please.
I almost want to give it a cutesy, like, My Little Pony name now. So, like,
Rainbow Bright.
It's Buttercup.
I, Buttercup, devourer of worlds.
Oh, I love it. Good horsey.
All right. We have one free downtime action left.
We do.
And any of you can spend coin to do one of the, if you want to drop a coin to train in something or whatever, you can do that too.
Pretty sure
Doesn't
at the
have to be a
beginning
whole
of
affair.
this, Val was like, "This will be super quick. Don't worry about it."
Yeah, super
Yeah,
quick,
yeah,
super
yeah,
quick.
yeah.
Only like an hour and a half. Super quick.
Oh no. Yes. So would like to. Maybe I could roll my wealth on this. To very anonymously, but not anonymously at all. Put together a fund for the Jenkins mama.
Okay.
But and then maybe also anonymously, like it seems like potentially being a what are they called, the
The Railjacks?
Railjacks.
Yeah.
Seems like it might be a little bit of also a dangerous job, you know, like one of those dangerous jobs that you don't really think is dangerous until like you really look at the numbers, like garbage person, you know.
Their job is to literally fight ghosts on trains.
Yeah.
That is
So-
the single liner for their job.
Amazing. So yeah, like their job's pretty dangerous.
Do you love trains but hate ghosts? Boy, do I have a job for you.
But if you love ghosts and hate trains, get out.
Get out of here. This is not for you. Yeah, so like could I roll wealth to one, make sure that the Jenkins family is well taken care of, but maybe like just put together a little anonymous donation to a Railjack insurance fund, if you will.
So what I would like to do this as, because the mechanical benefit of this would be to like increase your standing with the Railjacks.
Yes.
So we're gonna do it as a long-term project.
Cool.
I'm gonna do this. They're only tier 2, so I'm not gonna make this an extremely difficult. They're on par with you, so it's not going to be an extremely difficult project. Let's make this a 6-segment clock. But yeah, you can roll wealth, you can roll sway. I'd allow all of those.
I'm gonna roll my wealth because it is my highest right now. It is at a 4. So.
Okay.
Woo! I got a 5.
Okay, so it's gonna be 2. So I'm gonna put. I should have that as one word because Railjack Fund sounds.
There has to be a comma in there somewhere, please.
Considering we have a character named Jack in this.
Oh my god.
I love ghosts and hate trains.
I thought you were about to say, I love trains, but not that much.
Oh no. Oh no.
I feel like I need to take a nap.
It's the earlier in the day start.
Oh,
Oh my
Oh my
God.
goodness, you guys.
Okay.
Okay, so
An
that
energy
one
drink in the fridge. You
is
guys are fucked.
that is ongoing now. You've started that that project. So I think that's it. Unless anybody wants to spend coin for anything quick here.
Let's get down to some free play.
Yeah.
We
Well, I think we're gonna
gotta
be.
roll for the gambling den.
Y'all
Oh,
gotta roll for
yeah.
that. I gotta roll
Thank
for some
you.
faction stuff.
So we roll our
Tier
minus heat, which is 2 or 3 right now.
I think it's 2.
2. Okay.
They're both 2.
Woo! Got a 6. So
Nice.
$4.
$4 whole dollars.
If
Who
it can't
needs
fit in
money?
the stash. I do. I'm destitute.
Yeah, I need some. Oh, this is we get stash equal to this, or do we just get coin?
I think we get. Yeah, it's coin. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, by the way, did we get coin earlier?
Yeah, one
I
each.
think everybody
Yeah,
got
one
one.
each.
Okay. Alright. Thank you.
There's 2 spots in the vault. You guys want to take the other 2?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah, you guys take the other ones.
I got a ways to work back up.
Did I just get a coin?
You did.
You
Yeah.
sure did.
Check
So
off.
you have received 2 coins this session.
That's insane.
It's insane.
How will I spend all this?
what
My
is this
cup runneth
largesse?
Obviously on horse things.
I want sugar cubes.
That
Oh
shit
my
in,
God.
in Duskwall? Come on. Fucking expensive as hell.
Are we going with Buttercup? Is the horse's official name Buttercup?
The other idea is Banshee.
Oh,
That's fun, too.
cool.
Banshee's a really cool name.
It's a question of whether we want to go cool or cute.
This seems
I wonder.
really at the heart of who Grackle is.
Yeah.
Look into her fucking soul and see. She is but an uwu bean. Okay, here's the. I'm about to break your fucking heart with this shit. She had a horse when she was a little uwu baby, when she was just little old Jack, and that horse's name was Buttercup. So that's what she's doing. She's pulling a Senshi dungeon meshi on you. She's naming the new horse after the old one.
Yay!
Also, hearing Grackle's voice say Buttercup is
Buttercup.
gonna be incredible every time.
But
Well,
like
and
as
also-
a war cry, Buttercup!
That's gonna have a real return on investment, I think.
And also the fact that this horse is so fucking bloodthirsty.
Yes.
Now, Buttercup, talk about this.
We ain't go killing everyone.
That between Grackle and Buttercup, Grackle is the voice of reason.
We're vamping in fear as Val rolls some
Downtime faction
new clocks
Yeah,
that
there's
have
a-
just popped up.
There's a lot happening.
That was a lot of dice right there.
That was a crit success.
A lot
Awesome.
of dice. A lot of dice.
Love
Crit
that.
success.
Who for?
So,
I'm guessing the Baron.
fun fact: historically, Persian bombardiers would put cannons on the saddles of their camels and fire said cannons. So what I could do is probably make like a gun saddle for the ghost horse.
Okay, speak on that.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I
I
thought-
telepathically control it.
Yeah, and like there could be like a lead bit thing that goes with the horse's mouth, so they can pull their head to the side and fire the cannon from the back. So it could be like a remote thing.
You're
Wait,
just,
are you saying you want to allow the horse to fire the cannon?
Yes.
you are currently reinventing My Little Pony like AUs right now. That's what I'm telling you.
Am I with? Oh, all AUs. Okay. I was like, I never thought My Little Pony got. Should I watch My Little Pony?
Good show.
No.
Do they have historically
Good show.
accurate weapons?
The HBO remake
Wouldn't that-
does.
yes,
That'd be nice.
yes.
The HBO remake of My Little Pony.
Spike commits war crimes?
Epic.
All right.
I only know the dragon's name. I'm sorry.
So, uh, how do I describe what happens in the next week?
Oh
Um,
god.
Is it like the script of A Cabin in the
Threatening,
Woods where it
but
just
okay.
reads, "There is chaos"?
yeah. So a couple of things
Oh god.
over the next week develop in the wake of the train attacks at the Gaddock rail station. There is some sort of outrage by the church. There aren't any like articles about it, but just a dignitary from the church that was put at risk because of the attacks and outcries to the city council and the Bluecoats to do their fucking jobs. While all of that's going on, and there's a lot of like panic, more sort of behind the scenes that some of the things that y'all notice. It doesn't really make news. This isn't something you catch in the papers, but the church is there's a lot of like proselytizing that you see regarding a lot of that same rhetoric that you hear from them about, salvation through abandoning the temptations of the spirit and the this proliferation of heartstones and these technologies that are being used are inhuman. They are a lot of that, again, that same rhetoric that you've been hearing for years now begins to become they become louder essentially as a result. There are evangelists that are on the city streets throughout Dustfall promoting this. They have like these mass like prayer vigil services and they begin to what you notice is they begin to recruit more from the public to like join as members of their kind of what would the word I'm use here? Like militant faithful, essentially.
The zealotry?
Yes. And you notice people who were like members of the church who would go to like regular services who suddenly one day like they disappear for a couple of days and then return as one of these sort of like militant priests, these zealots that are proselytizing on the street corners throughout.
They disappear for a couple of days.
And
Okay.
what you notice as part of this, when this seems to happen, is that they are changed upon their return, have a lifeless sort of hue to their eyes. They seem essentially it is a form of baptism through this process of hollowing that many in like en masse many are going through, and that the church is promoting. In addition, unrelated but coincidentally around the same time, the presence of the Ironcoats is bolstered throughout the city, to the point where the influence of the Bluecoats is seemingly pulled back. You see the Bluecoats a lot more in some of the more populous areas of the city, Charter Hall, Brightstone. They still maintain their holds there, some of the more affluent areas, but almost entirely in Night Market, especially on the fall of the after what happened with Helker, you see the Bluecoats almost entirely ousted from like they take on a more like administrative role in that portion of the city. The Ironcoats almost fully taking over. So there's a lot of tension there too. Some emergency meetings of the city council in Charter Hall and a lot of sort of political pressure throughout the city with the resurgence of some of these more extremist views from the church. And kind of growing in tension with their views towards the Baron. So that is what happens.
So just to be clear, the church is still very much against what the Baron is doing?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. They're sort of the biggest critics, I guess is probably a nice way of saying it, of the department, the Dustfall Institute of Sparkcraft, and the use of Heartstones. In fact, like pretty much anyone who has a Heartstone is not welcome within the church anymore. Like they are essentially, it is, they have drawn a firm line in the sand of like, if you wish to join our, like if you are one of us, then you must prove so through this baptism. And like most of the people that you see like that these converts have removed their
Their
heartstones.
heartstones. That's like a cult saying, you can't be a part of the church unless you burn your driver's license.
Unless you
Same.
drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
He's got his social security card.
Ah.
Oh.
Eh.
Okay.
But y'all have your own shit to deal with. So what is on the agenda?
Fume would
Oh.
like to talk to Glass. Real
Sure.
quick.
Oh no.
Yeah?
I've had a horrible idea. No, do your scene with Glass first. Go ahead.
It is a couple of days after the job. Fume is just gives a quick knock on Glass's door. He's holding a like leather-bound journal, and a pen is stuck in between like the little binder that keeps the pages close together. Hey, do you have a minute?
Sure.
Right. He walks in, looks around for a place to just sit for a second, opens up the notebook to a specific page. In my research for soulstones and hull production, I came across a couple of things that might intrigue you, and I also wish to pursue. Occultistry isn't my wheelhouse, and you're as much of an expert as anyone on the subject, so I wish to pick your brain on it a little bit.
Okay.
So, have you ever heard of the term ghosts in the machine?
I've heard it.
Right. This is more of a technical, like a little literal aspect. So, spirits use electroplasm to gain some sort of pseudo-corporealism, and also can interfere with certain frequencies and such. Technically speaking, since I am in this hull, I might be able to do the same, but I don't know if that will compromise my spirit in any way.
Is your spirit not already compromised?
Morally, yes. But if I were able to do this, I would be able to more or less plug myself into anything that has a circuit in it and override its function, control it, essentially.
Right. Honestly, I don't know. When you're messing with electroplasm and those sorts of things, and there's always a danger that something goes wrong.
Right. An older, not age-wise, but in more of disposition would probably recklessly try and pursue this through experimentation of my own. But I have people to worry about now, so I think the safest way to do things would be optimal.
That I can help with.
Once we get this hot stone business taken care of, may I dock in your doorstep once again for assistance?
Of course. Hate to see you electrocute yourself.
Or would you love to?
Little column A, little column B.
I wonder, would my exoskeleton show through the skin, or... Have you ever seen those characters? No, never mind, I'm getting off subject. Anyway.
I will help.
Thank you. I'm asking this because one of my hull functions that I can pick up is interface, and it requires me to attune to the local electroplasmic power field so I can control it or something connected to it, including other hulls.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh my god. Please get possessed by the Baron so
That's
I can
awesome.
kill my dad and you at the same time.
I don't need you to kill me, I can do that myself.
No,
That's what the
you
kill switch is for.
misunderstand. She wants to.
But why? I've been nothing but amenable. Was it the spiders in the hat?
It's a matter of principle at this point.
It's called tying up loose ends, old man.
I can't have any father figures.
Ew. So how are you doing, Glass? I know we left you alone for a few months, and I do apologize. I did try and knock as loud as I could.
Suppose I'm alright.
Care for a drink?
Yes.
Fume will leave for a few minutes, come back up with some bourbon whiskey high ball mixes, and they'll just sit around, small talking, relaxing, if that's cool. Do I want to talk to Grackle? No, that would be a more funny reveal later. Yeah, that's it
Okay.
for me.
Okay. Anyone else have anything they want to do before we get into planning?
Grackle is gonna check in on Salome.
Where's Salome? Is this morning? Is this during work hours?
It's whenever they get a moment alone.
Okay. Maybe like
I think
right before things get started.
Yeah, I think Salome is pretty well like tuned in with like Grackle, and she gets a particular way when she wants to talk about something. It's just there's kind of an energy there.
It's like she's standing post, but is just like emanating like there's
Yeah.
something on my mind.
Talk to me, tell me your name.
All right. So Grackle finds a moment alone with Salome. You ever find out if this is what you want?
To make sure that all this paperwork is ready for Captain Panzia by tomorrow? Is that what you mean?
No.
I thought not.
Talking about this ritual thing.
Unfortunately, like many parts of my life, I honestly don't think I'm going to have all the information to make that decision. until we're right at the precipice. To my understanding, this full instruction manual, spell, not quite entirely sure. For now, all it has done is reveal its components, what we've been collecting. It will not reveal what we are to do with them until that portion is complete.
All right. Sounds a lot like. Well, let me put it this way. When I was little, I grew up with horse traders. We would break them, breed them, keep them, train 'em. It's a lot of work. And when you find somebody who's going to make a deal with you and you're going to sell a bunch of horses, you don't want them to back down. So, when you meet up, they don't get to look at the horses until the day of the deal. You don't want them to back off on that deal. So what you do is that you make sure that they bring all of the payment all at once. It's mind games, investment.
So what you're saying is the Thousand Faces is the horse trainer, and I'm the big buyer?
More or less.
Mm.
The real trick there is that no matter how much work you've put into putting together the payment for the deal, if it's a bum steer, it's a bum steer. You can always change your mind.
I've had something that Lord Skurlock spoke of when we tried to do any amount of research into this. Simply that, to his understanding, these rituals have been attempted before and accomplished nothing but decimating those who tried. I like to manage things, but I like to manage them by acquiring more of them, not decimating everything until all that's left is what's mine. You're a betting woman, Jack, yes?
Can be.
Let's just say the odds of me going through with all of this, say about 5.95.
Out of character. Are those good odds? I don't know.
Bad odds.
Bad
yeah.
odds. Bad odds. Okay.
5% do, 95% don't.
Well, bigger the risk, bigger the payout.
True.
If you need to bail, I'll be your parachute.
There's nothing wrong with packing the gear, just in case.
That's all I ask.
Have you thought about the 5%?
That's what you're hoping for, right?
I suppose the problem with a betting metaphor is most of the time when you're making the bet, you know what the outcomes are. Either you win big or you lose big.
You're worried that this is a lose-lose.
Yes. So, until we know for sure, you know me. I shall operate as I always do. Hedge my bets and get more information.
I'm just gonna trust you that when you get a peek at the payout, you know what you want.
Don't put too much faith in me, Jack.
One thing you can't ask me to do.
We don't deserve you. You know that, right?
There's plenty of people who do.
Where the hell are they?
Most of them are dead.
I can relate. If I don't know, I promise to be open with that information. Because I trust you. To set me straight.
I think that's only fair.
Don't know how much any of you will trust me when I tell you my next harebrained idea. So the church has been removing heart stones. I wonder where they put them once they're removed.
I'll go call everybody else.
That was the really bad idea that Sid had right before
so
RJ
good.
started his scene.
I fucking
My
love
brain
it.
just went, oh no.
Yeah.
I had the
No,
same
Grackle
thought.
says she'll call a meeting.
Could there be a knock at the door? Fume is there like, so I overheard that last part. But I need you to
Yep.
sign these documents, Salome, there for the couple of months you were away.
Fume, how long you been listening?
We're gonna go steal some hot stones from the church.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
All right. Well, I think that's probably a good place to take a break.
Yeah.
And we'll come back for some score planning. So, thanks everyone out there for watching. We'll be back in a few minutes to continue the second half of our game. In the meantime, go stretch, eat a snack, drink some water. whatever you need to do. And we'll be back here in a few minutes to continue. Until then, stay tuned. And welcome back, Internet. Thanks for hanging out with us while we took our break. We are going to go ahead and jump back in to our game. So we got through downtime super quick. And now we're going to I think Salome had the beginnings of an idea for your next part of this job. So we can pick back up with everyone being called into the Unity room, the Unity den.
The Unity den, yes.
Yeah.
Everyone sits down, holds hands. The final part of this process is we need 10 more whole heartstones.
Right, and our options were mostly the spirit wardens, and then what I overheard you two talking about.
My thought was simply this. I'm not entirely married to the idea of breaking into the church and stealing whatever stones they may have after converting these militant acolytes. But I'm not wholly against it either.
It's definitely not the worst idea.
What's in? We are prospecting converts. I don't think that would work in my case, because then once they remove this, I will cease to function.
Yes.
And if the men find out that you can shapeshift, they're going to tell the church.
Going to tell the church.
Don't you tell the church?
Contouring 101 for everyone
Contouring
out there.
101.
Go watch it. It's real good.
It still makes me cackle to this day. That is the more difficult part of this. Subterfuge and reconnaissance might be a little more difficult.
I could rig up something with some makeup and whatever leftover organic materials I have left in the basement to just cover your soul stones, your hot stones.
Make it appear as if we don't have heartstones already. How do we know they don't have other ways of knowing?
That is also a potential
Other than
problem.
using their goddamn eyes.
I suppose we could try to mask their presence somehow.
Some sort of dampening field or a jam of some sort.
Or a temporary...
We should find out if they actually are holding on to those heartstones or getting rid of them.
I doubt they would hold on to the heartstones, giving the tenants about flesh purity.
Well, they'd have to have something that was capable of destroying them.
Big vat of acid in the basement.
Or would we know what sort of relationship do the church and the spirit wardens have?
They're generally allied.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't necessarily work together.
But they have aligning interests.
Yeah, I mean, the spirit wardens kill ghosts. The church doesn't like ghosts. So, ghosts, vampires, that kind of stuff, they're not fans of.
Perhaps then, my assumption would be the easiest course of action would be if they're removing these heartstones. It's in everyone's interests for them to be taken up again by the spirit wardens. So perhaps some sort of delivery or, pickup is occurring whenever they do these baptismal removals. Perhaps Glass, you could do a little bit of information gathering in regard to this?
I can handle that.
And if it's a no-go, then we can dip further into a potentiality of gathering heartstones from the spirit wardens. Only if you were amenable to that, Glass.
I don't see why
Don't
not.
want to cause you any schisms within your other line of work.
What other line of work?
Precisely.
Between the church and the spirit wardens, I think the church is gonna miss a bunch of heartstones a lot less.
Most likely.
Very true.
This is all outside of my wheelhouse, so I'll defer to the three of you for this.
Wow. Most
Information.
everything's outside my wheelhouse.
Which is why we all work so incredibly well together. Information first. Let's see if we can find out if there's some sort of connection between these removals within the church and disposal within the spirit wardens. If they're in no way connected, then we can go further. In the meantime, Fume,
Yes.
how comfortable would you feel about making some fake heartstones?
Polish up some glass real good and inject it with some sprinkly liquid. Sparkly liquid.
How well would that pass, at least at a somewhat trained glance?
Well, depending on the materials, on a cursory glance, pretty good. If it's high enough in quality, if it's low enough, jack shit.
It always comes back to money.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Why don't you get a head start on that?
Okay, I'm going to need some glitter, some purified water, that syringe. He stands up and starts making his way to his lab.
Okay. So we've got a couple of things, a couple people trying to gather information, or at least gather resources. Do you want to start with Glass, doing some information gathering first?
Sure.
So
Would
y'all
affect how I roll,
yeah, which direction y'all want to go?
Because if anything, if it's like just a spirit warden going in and collecting the spirit stones, we could just try to get glass on the
Sandglass
detail.
in, yeah, exactly.
So, Glass, what are you, how are you approaching this?
I think I'm gonna go to church again.
You go to church?
Yeah, in the guise of a spirit warden, and try to get a sense of their operation.
Okay. Is there anyone specific that you want to make contact with?
You said that like you had somebody in mind.
I mean, you've dealt with some members of the church before.
Yeah, it's just
Is
been a
the
while.
vicar still around?
Oh, aside from the vicar.
Forgot about. Can't forget about the vicar. I'm trying to remember.
I believe you previously,
I know I talked to one of the preceptors.
yeah, you previously had a conversation with Preceptor Dunville, I think.
Yeah, but if I'm going as a spirit,
Yeah,
he won't know
yeah,
it's me.
if-
But
Okay, so do you just want to go to the you want to go to like the main cathedral? Well, yeah, okay. So we'll just say you're going as the spirit warden. You're kind of knocking around to see if you can get some information. Are you
Yeah.
doing this fully off the books, or are you speaking with anyone with the spirit wardens first?
oh, that's a good question. trying to think if I did, like, how I would pitch it.
What sort of like routine dealings would the spirit wardens and the church have together?
Yeah, like, would they like have a
That's the thing
spirit
is,
warden come by every so often, just like make sure they would do like an inspection. Like,
Yeah, I was
a
gonna say
random
check the
inspection.
meters.
Check the
Yeah.
Check the
meter.
ectoplasm meter.
That's a good question. I mean, honestly, I don't think you would know. I think it'd be better for you to try to speak with somebody with the spirit warrants to
Try to
get that
find out.
information first.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's. I mean, your position as a spirit warden is pretty like, independent.
Yeah.
Like you do your tasks when you're called to do so, and you're not really like on the in as much.
So I'll go to the spirit wardens and just try to find out, like, is there any other oversight that's happening, like, with the stuff of the church, or is it just the church doing whatever the fuck they want?
Got it.
And start
Okay.
there.
Yeah, good place to start. So you head to Bellwether Crematorium.
Yeah.
In your spirit warden mask. You are let in past the nice old lady at the front desk, as usual, and you head back to quote unquote Baccaros's office. Who is once again, you have no idea if this is the same person you speak to every time or what. It's wearing the same mask, and there's a dude behind a desk there. As you sort of darken the door, the masked figure looks up at you, and says, "Good afternoon.
Afternoon?
How can I help you?"
Well, I, a couple of logistical questions, I suppose.
Are you on assignment?
Not yet.
Please sit.
This business with the church and their new baptismal rite. I'm not really sure what to call it.
Ah,
Are the spirit wardens involved at all with this?
right. You're not the first to inquire. Yes, we've dispatched several of our members to accommodate these baptisms.
Right. So is this
What concerns?
Is this a regular thing? Is there always a warden in there when they happen?
Not usually.
Why not?
Our dealings are mostly with the released souls, the spirits that have escaped the confines of their corporeal forms.
So no
This
way
is
to-
which isn't commonplace within the church.
So no way to know what they're doing with all these heartstones.
Yes. That was our initial concern. We inquired as to exactly the nature of these ascensions, and with concerns that heartstones left outside of our care may lead to further spectral incursions. They assured us that the nature of this ritual required the destruction of the heartstones, and we have been collecting the fragmented remains that have been provided to us.
But there's no way to know if we're getting all of them.
Very sharp.
It's my job.
Come with me. He stands from his desk and leads out of the room further into the confines, the bowels of the crematorium. You head down the steps into this darkened sort of basement area you've been to before, passing a few other masked spirit wardens along the way as they head to and fro their business. You're led into the the sort of processing area of the crematorium with this massive furnace that they use, that they have a sort of powering, shoveling coal into, and the furnace itself, the pipes of which heating up these vats of essentially ectoplasm that they utilize to dissolve heartstones, some which you can see diligently some spirit wardens working, checking off a list or processing a corpse, removing its heartstone before wrapping the corpse and lowering it into the dissolving liquid. The smoke being caught in vents above and wafting out through, the vents on top of the building. He leads you past this room, through another series of antechambers, until you arrive at the essentially like a small storeroom. There's another hatch here that leads out through the back of the building that some of the wardens use to enter and exit surreptitiously. And here, sitting on a table, are a couple of sacks, look to be kind of heavily laden, bound, one of which is open. Spilled out to the side, you see thousands of small shards, fragments of appear to be gemstone. Some of the wardens you can see are kind of like cataloging this, taking it and putting them into like small like buckets or pails that they are then moving elsewhere into the crematorium or taking to be destroyed. Not entirely sure. Bakros leads you over to the table and says, "Have a look."
Right.
What does your class do?
I suppose I have a look.
Do you want to examine them using any
Yeah.
sort of...
Can I, So are they, I guess, are these ones... These are supposed to be, like, already broken and empty. Or are these
Yes.
ones, like... Okay. Can I... Well, one, I have Ghost Mind.
Mhm.
So I'm always aware of supernatural entities in my presence.
Got it.
But can I, like, attune? Can I try to get a sense of, like, are they actually, like, broken and empty? Or is there, like, something hinky going on here?
Sure. You want to attune? You want to study?
I'd love to attune.
Let's do that.
It's my favorite one. Unless I can sway the Heartstones to tell me their secrets.
Tell me your secrets. No.
Alright, keep your secrets. That's a 5.
5. Okay.
I didn't ask you about the position.
I was gonna go risky standard. Or no, I'd go controlled. Standard. Here's what I'll let you do. With a 5, you can go forward with this. You're having a hard time, just the nature of like the wardings that they have in place here, of like fully kind of understanding, like fully getting like a grip on like your abilities to detect sort of spectral anomalies. I will allow you to push to try, or to essentially to try again at risky instead of controlled, but the consequences would be worse. Or you can take the 5 and I'll give you what you got.
I'm gonna take the 5 and we'll go from there.
Okay. With a 5, You look over the gemstones here, and essentially, like, these do look like fragments of like ruby, sapphire, opal, tourmaline, like dozens and dozens of different gemstones that are utilized by people of the city. Um, the fragments themselves, what you can tell is don't appear to have any sort of partial or residual spectral essence on them. And I will, and based on that, I say I would leave you with two thoughts there that I think would come to glass. Either the process by which the church is essentially conducting these baptisms, making people hollow, is removing the fully destroying the spirit on its own, or these aren't heartstones.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I'd like to request your leave to look into this.
Have you told him your thoughts on this, or is that the first thing
I'm
Glass says?
debating exactly what I'm gonna say. I'll just say that and see what he says.
And why is that?
Fair enough. These stones, they're a bit too clean for my liking. Either the church has found some way to so completely destroy spirit that it leaves no trace, or there was never any trace of a spirit to begin with.
You have my leave.
Thank you.
Do be careful, though. Don't want to damage any relationships.
Perhaps I'll go undercover.
Very well. By your leave, Warden.
If this was any other game, I would have been like, and I try to steal some of the gemstones. But I don't do that.
Yeah.
But I think about it.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay. So you have permission. We can do it as just a single gather information roll. If you want to see what you find skulking around the church. Are you going, or kind of depending on what your method of approach is here. So if you're going as like a spear warden, you can use command. If you're going as a member of as a potential convert, that would be different. Or if you're just sneaking in.
I think I'm just gonna creep.
Okay.
I'm gonna save the spirit warden thing for the actual job.
All right. So let's just roll prowl, and I'll tell you what you get with your gather information.
What is this? Risky?
Yeah, we're gonna go with risky standard.
That's a 6.
6. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You spend the next few days watching the movements and of some church officials and priests and acolytes alike. You notice a couple of things. So these gatherings, these temples across the city that belong to the church are very popular. Like they're very busy. They're holding multiple essentially services a day for prospective and converts and acolytes and parishioners alike. Um, there are many small temples across the city. You probably scout out a few of those to get an idea of maybe what's going on, sort of the ground level. But it seems like you don't catch anything there. Like most of the like prospective converts might be meeting there initially, but they all seem to make their way towards eventually attending services at the Sanctorium, which is the Grand Cathedral in Brightstone. Um, Similar to the other smaller temples, they're holding just massive services where a number of preceptors, but most importantly, like once a day, like the high service that they have daily, is overseen by Elder Rowan, the leader, essentially, in fact, of the church in Dustfall. Uh, Attending the service, because I imagine you probably snoop in on one of those, kind of getting an idea what they're doing. Um, there is a lot of rhetoric about becoming purified, uh, the lustful hungers of the soul and resisting those temptations, becoming pure by abandoning the temptations of one's soul. Um, a lot of things like that that you've probably heard before.
Going clear.
Yeah, essentially going clear. Uh, they are so you get a lot of that. There's a lot of just kind of like uh fire and brimstone, like, you know, preaching from the pulpit from Elder Rowan and the other uh priests that hold service. Um, but I'll give you a couple of things. So you see these members that are brought up as essentially like during these services. Essentially, it is asked like once like towards the end of these services, the elder will ask like if there are any who wish to become purified, who wish to devote themselves to the church. In which case, volunteers essentially step up and move towards like the front of the room. They're all given the blessing of the elder, and then they are led off to another sorts like not they don't leave the church with everyone else at the end of the service. They're essentially led further into it in areas that are pretty heavily like watched over by some of the clergy there. A place that would be difficult for you to kind of sneak through uh, without more preparation. The So you know that they're bringing those people in, and then usually within a few days, like once a week, they have a special service near the like middle of the day where parishioner or those converts are essentially brought out during the service, all of them wearing the like vestments of the church, these like red and gold like ornamental kind of sort of like almost like uniforms, but they all have that same sort of vacant expression as they are brought forward and presented to the parishioners and expounded for their virtue and becoming pure in body and ascending to this higher level. The When you are attending some of these services, you can overhear a phrase that is used by some of the clergy in passing when they're talking about these ascensions, and like they're referring to this shift. Uh, the phrase "empty vessel" is used uh, on occasion. Um, the Yeah, so you see those people going in, and you see the aftermath of the effects with them with their healed scars. It looks like there's almost some sort of like branding or something over them. Like the scars themselves are like burned, like closed. Looks like natural healing. Um, the the other thing that you, I think, clock, I'll say with a 6, the last piece of information I'll give you, is you have noticed the number of people who essentially volunteer are not the same number of people that are coming out.
I was also afraid of that. At any point, when they've taken these people back into the back and you're like waiting for them to come back out, do the bells ring?
No.
Okay, that answers that question. Okay, cool. This seems normal and fine. I will go and share with the class what I have learned and some of the assumptions that I am making about this. Glass doesn't like this. Glass does not like this. This is something's going
Not
on
one bit.
here. I don't like this one bit.
I want to do one thing as you're leaving.
Okay.
Just one little scene here. You've attended one of these proceedings, and you've just watched essentially one of these services being held by Elder Rowan. Again, this like is a figure that is not just the head of his church, but seems to be almost like a very like a larger than life figure for the church.
Hey,
Like,
it's Joel Osteen.
yeah, essentially, very much like he is like revered by everyone.
I
As a
had just
prophet.
like a little bit of like distaste just in general because he was, like organized religion. And as soon as you said Joel Osteen, this guy has to die. We have to kill this guy. This guy's gotta die.
But it's very much that
Ron
like
Hubbard up there.
it's very much looked at as like a visionary, a prophet, and you do hear like during this like he does rail against like the city council and the Ministry of Sparkcraft, and like goes on a lot of tangents about that. Essentially, like
I was really afraid of who you were gonna say he was railing against. I'm just gonna put that
Take
out
away
there.
his tax exemption.
Yeah,
This is not separation of
My
church and
ass
state.
grew up Baptist, so I know exactly what all this looks like.
Yeah.
In the middle of the
He's,
service, and then they say who wants to devote themselves to Jesus, and then you gotta walk up to the front, and they dunk you in the tank. This happened to me in real life.
So they throw baseballs when they try to dunk you in the tank?
Yeah,
or
they
is
all
it-
have Jesus' face on them.
Yeah.
Target has a picture of the devil.
but you can see it is very
I
much
think that would
like
make it so much more fun, though.
That would be really fun if baptisms were more like carnival dunk tanks.
You get to heckle him.
Yeah.
but you can see here the like is a lot of this like polarization of like the people that are like vehemently opposed to like the Institute of Sparkcraft and everything, like this is where it's coming from.
Gotcha.
And yeah. As you are leaving though, and you're working your way through the crowds, it's probably like near sunset at this point, the little bit of sun that you actually do get in Dustfall. But light is beginning to fade. And amidst the crowd, you feel an arm loop through yours. And a
This
voice,
is my bit. Hold on. Someone's doing my bit at me.
and a voice in your ear that says, Very interesting, isn't it?
Who is it?
You look and you see
Who do I know this man?
a woman shroud with her face shrouded in a dark veil. Um and you catch just
Mommy?
I mean, with your ghost mind,
Oh yeah, I'm
you
aware of her presence.
yeah,
It's
there's
mommy.
a
Mommy?
strong demonic presence, Azrael.
Mother.
I'm surprised you don't just go up in flames the minute you walk across the threshold.
Are you serious?
No,
They essentially would invite me here with open arms if they knew I was here.
it would be quite the spectacle.
Hmm.
No, I'm not serious.
I didn't take you for the church-going type.
I'm not. I'm here on business.
What business would that be?
Not here. Shall we have a drink?
This way, then. She leads you away from the crowds, further into the city, until the two of you find yourselves at like a small bar,
Old dive bar,
kind
yeah.
of little hole in the wall. Two patrons in there on a Friday night kind of place.
Where people
Like,
know how to keep their fucking mouths shut.
yeah, yeah. And the two of you find yourself sitting at a small table in the corner of this darkened room. Her hands folded in front of her, and you can make out that translucent skin with the musculature and bone exposed underneath, even in this dull light. And she says, "So, don't keep me waiting."
The church is up to something.
Aren't they always?
Something dangerous. This time, I think. Now, going to find out. Either way. You're aware, I assume, of my different lines of work.
Yes.
They're doing something with the heartstones they're taking from people. Because they're not going to the spirit wardens.
I wouldn't imagine so.
I think they're giving them fakes. And I want to know why.
So what is it you intend to do?
Something reckless and generally exciting. We're going
So
to get
just
in
an
and find
average
out.
week.
Indeed. I want to get in and find out. And accomplish some other business along the way.
Speaking of which, would you like to see our arrangement come to its conclusion?
What a complicated question. In theory, yes. I'd like to accomplish what I set out to accomplish. And I think there is more we could accomplish together.
How so?
Well, I haven't disappointed you yet. Seems a waste to end our arrangement after just one job. don't you think?
I think you've been spending too much time with Lord Skerlock.
What can I say? He's my best patron. And far and away the most interesting.
So in addition to our agreement, me providing you with the life of your lover, you wish to engage in a pact with me to use my power to your own ends.
I imagine some of those ends are also yours.
That is the nature of these agreements. If my desires are not filled, then you will meet a terrible end.
I'm going to meet a terrible end anyway.
Trust me, I will make it so much worse. You wouldn't be the first who had suggested such a thing. And most other arrangements I have made over the centuries have not ended well.
Have you ever had the opportunity to make an arrangement with someone like me?
Hmm. I can't say that I have. Very well then. Let us expound upon our arrangement for this sake. If this is what you truly want.
It is.
You understand my nature.
I think so.
Then I would see you bring it in full.
I never do a job halfway.
You will find strange things in the bowels of the sanctorium. And stranger still are those who enact its dark proclivities. As per our agreement, I will need the Heartstone of Elder Rowan.
Thought you'd never ask.
But for this additional request, I will require the deaths of any who haunt the holes beneath the sanctorum proper.
Right. As you wish.
Do this now? Do this after? Let's do this now.
Okay.
She holds out her hand. How would she do this? It exemplifies her. Yeah, she holds out her hand to take yours.
Okay.
She says, "A taste of the power that you request. Let's hope that it does not consume you." and you feel she takes your hand in hers, like her fingers against your palm in the back of your hand, and you feel an intense pain run through, like it begins at the palm of your hand and sort of runs up your arm, like a burning sensation that steadily gives away to sort of like a numbing, essentially like blood flow has been cut off to your arm for a moment. The warmth leads it. You grow cold. You can see the glass is pretty pale, but any color that you might have had in your hand drains away until you can almost see a translucent effect similar to her own. And then it begins to return, the color returning, blood flow, painfully hot against your skin as it rushes down your arm to your hand. And as she releases it, and you look down, you can see where her fingers touched. There is a sort of a bruised discoloration. Like the skin there has begun to die and rot away.
One step closer to becoming Corvo Atano.
I am giving you the
Mark
unlocking
of the outsider.
Yeah, I am unlocking for you the bound to the demon ability. It is on page 235 in the book.
Yay.
You now have 2 special abilities that you can take as veteran advances when you advance. Essentially the way that this works is you've bound yourself by arcane ritual to a demon. You indulge its dark desire. You receive its permission to command it, and it may not refuse you. If its dark desire is not well satisfied, it receives permission to work in secret towards your destruction to be free of your bidding. You're essentially under a trial run right now. We'll say you're not fully bound. If you
probationary period.
Yeah, you're in a probationary agreement with this demon. If you are able to, or if you complete its request here, fulfilling its desire, which in this case, the demon is Azrael's, is a demon of murder. Her desire is murder. You can use those, you can take those abilities, in which case you'd be able to use her elements to your benefit. Her elements being rot and decay.
Excellent. Excellent.
So, you have to take those as veteran advances, though. You don't have them quite yet, but
yes.
You'll level up again today. You could take them.
Sweet.
So I'll let you read over those. Do you want me to go over what they are? Or do you want to wait until you take them before we talk about them on stream?
Wait. I was looking at them a little bit.
Okay.
I think they're fun.
Yeah. Okay. So you want to return, talk with your group?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Just got a weird bruise. Don't worry about it. I explain what happened at the church. Most of what happened at the church. Not the demon part.
I'll also remind you of one thing, too. The ritual that Azrael's going to give you will allow you to recall Jackdaw's spirit and allow you to essentially manifest him as a vampire. You will need a body.
Yes, yeah, that was the last part we haven't done yet.
Yeah.
Want me to make you a hole?
You will need a flesh body.
Want to make you a flesh body?
Can you make me a flesh body?
Go full Dr. Frankenstein. Love it.
Wait a minute, I'm the one who's supposed to be making deals with the demons.
That's my thing. That's my brand, man.
Look at the name, Faust. It's right there.
It's right there. Yeah, kind of just everybody. What happened? What's going on? My assumptions. Fewer
So,
people are coming out than are going in, but the bells aren't ringing.
Shit.
well, wait, was it fewer people are coming out than coming in, or more people that went in are coming out?
Less
Mm,
people are
yeah,
coming out.
fewer people are coming out than going
Okay.
in.
So we can assume whatever
bells aren't
process that they're doing is killing some people.
But without
But
the
that's
bell
thing,
ringing.
The bells aren't
Yeah.
ringing. So, there's that.
I'm going to need. I want to roll some investigations.
Yeah.
Whether they have a way to circumvent the bells or
Vampires in this world don't drink blood, do they?
No, essentially they consume life essence.
And they can do that other than in the body that they're in?
Uh, wait, what do you mean?
Can they drain the life essence of just people around them?
Oh, yeah. That's kind of their nature. Essentially, like the way vampires work is that the soul. Glass would know this. I could explain this.
Mm-hmm.
This when a ghost possesses a person, eventually the soul becomes so ingrained in the body that it can no longer be removed. But they no longer, that process of becoming a vampire isn't like a full state of life. They essentially need to continue to acquire life essence to feed and sustain themselves. Yeah, they don't feed on them. They don't feed on their host anymore because they don't have a host, because they are that body now. They are that person. They can no longer like become a ghost and go possess someone else. So
Like the final form.
Mhm.
yes.
There's a big old vampire in town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
think people getting slurped.
I think
I think so.
we've got a classic vampire cattle situation on our hands, fellas.
Mhm.
That's Glass's assumption, I think, right now, is that
100%.
if something goes wrong during the process that they're being kept as like vampire food. Could be totally wrong, but that's what Glass thinks.
Or that's just the goal. They're bringing people in for volunteers, and then some of them get to be an empty vessel, whatever the hell that is, and then the rest just get slurped.
But either they're circumventing the bells or they're keeping them alive.
Yeah.
I feel like they're keeping them alive if we have no bells and like the spirit wardens have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to look into this.
Yeah, I was about
Yeah.
to. Can I? Oh man, we have a couple of days before we need to get these soul stones, right? Heart stones.
I think we still got about 2 weeks.
Okay.
Because we had like 4 or 5 weeks when we were getting the Leviathan blood, right?
I want to open up a pop-up clinic. Specifically to see if there are any ill effects for the people who have their heartstones removed. If they're feeling any complications, or like just to get a general like feel of what the process is like.
Sure. Okay.
Could I use a study roll?
Yes. Yeah, I'd allow that. Yeah, if you do study. I think that's fine.
Some people have brought up some concerns. That's why I was brought in by. Excuse me. Anyway, how are you feeling? Submit. A 6. Success.
Okay. With a 6, so you open up a a clinic in the area, like I'd say kind of around Charter Hall, maybe not like right
Like on the
next to the
outskirts
church.
of Charter
Yeah.
Hall. Yeah.
And yeah, you have a couple of people that like are bringing their family, like come in with their family, like, you know, obviously if you're you got a medical clinic, like there are people that need medical service, and can't afford to go see one of the fancy doctors in Charter Hall.
Hmm.
So you set up to I'd say you're very busy. You spent a lot of time just hearing, just dealing with normal aches, pains, colds, that kind of stuff.
Take 2 of these, come back if any ill effects. You should sleep more, drink less coffee. That's causing your anxiety to spike.
uh Eventually you do have a someone come in with their it's a young woman that comes with her father, uh and you immediately see he's wearing like the vestments of the church and wearing that same thing that you see a lot of these zealots are wearing, and he has that same sort of like blank stare, and as soon as he sits down, he's got like a essentially like has a bad cut on his arm. It's been bandaged over, wrapped up in some cloth. I usually like did a little bit of stop the bleeding, but she wanted to be checked out. She says, I've been trying to get him to go to the clinic all week, but please, if you could just have a look at him and make sure it's not too bad.
No problem, my dear.
The man is immediately like as soon as like he's sat down, and you begin to look at his arm, he looks over at her and says, I need to get back to work. She says, no, father, just please wait. We'll get this sorted and then you can head back. He just gives a very slow nod and kind of sits back. You check out his arm. It is very badly infected. You can see it's like he's probably 2 days away from losing the arm. As like the early stages like gangrene has set in, pretty big laceration. But as you kind of poke at it and everything, like he doesn't seem to react. No immediate pain response. He doesn't like pull away, anything like that. Just kind of very stoically sitting there.
What exactly did you do to receive such an injury?
I don't know. He returned home and didn't say much as to how it happened.
Yeah. I don't know. Fume doesn't know how much this will help, but he begins to pull, like, fever reducers, fucking antiseptics off the shelf, gauze, and all of the fixins to stitch up a wound.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's at the point where you have to, like, probably excise some of the rotting tissue and stuff, too. And so, there aren't really any painkillers, aren't really a thing in Dustfall, other than recreationally. So you do your best to sort of anesthetize the area as you begin to sort of cut away some of the dead tissue. Does not seem to react.
There's like a privacy screen separating the operation between him and like the young lady.
Yeah.
How long ago did you say that he received this wound?
About a week ago.
Right, well, it's currently heavily infected, but I will do my best to try and save the arm.
She's very nervous. If you have a screen, you probably can't see her, but you can feel the nervous energy coming off of her. And she says, "I told you we should have come sooner." And her father just kind of grunts in acknowledgement.
Sir, you and I might not see eye to eye on some things, which might include hot stones and body purity, but I do believe that we should all do our best to have a healthy body. Not for our sake, not only for our sakes, but also for our loved ones.
He looks to you, like the first time he's made eye contact, he says, "My form has been freed of all corruption. I am ascended."
Tell that to the gangrene ravaging your arm. Now, if you wish, bite down on this. This will take an hour or so.
You hand it to him, and he just kind of like holds the
Leather strap.
the strap like in his hand as you begin to work, not flinching at the pain.
Don't like that at all. Yeah. If he does respond to any, if the patient responds to any like small talk, Fume asks like name, occupation, the standard like I gotta fill this paperwork in later sort of questions.
Yeah, I mean, she answers most of the questions for him. Gives you like he doesn't seem to respond or like interested in responding to you at all. You can see like the only reason he seems to be here is because she has pushed him to come here.
Mhm.
But she does and tells you that he was a like a carriage driver, like a cart driver, kind of like a taxi service. Up until a few weeks ago, when he began to, but has since quit his job and now works for the church.
Hmm. Okay. That. Don't like that. Wait. So does he still do carriage work for the church?
No, we uh, sold the carriage. They pay him to speak, essentially. He reads off pamphlets on the corner near our home, delivered to him by other members of the church.
Do you happen to have one of those pamphlets on hand?
Um, yes, I believe so. And she sort of digs around, hands you one of them. And yeah, if you look them over, like after the afterwards, if you kind of read through it, it's mostly the same stuff that like the sermonizing, the
All the rhetoric is right
yeah.
there.
I mean, this man is essentially, as you can tell, like he is a paid like loudspeaker. Stands on the street corner, reads all day.
And he loves you! Fucking Skyrim. Was it Akatosh?
Yeah, I mean that's essentially what he is he's just standing there just shouting whatever's on the pamphlet just day in and day out.
Yeah. With this information, Fume will send them off with whatever antibiotics he's cooked up, and some throat lozenges.
Yep. His voice does seem very hoarse, a little scratchy.
And probably a recommendation of tea. Also, the bandages need to be changed every 8 hours.
She nods and says, "Oh, I'm sure he does so. Thank you, doctor."
No problem. And then Fume will sit down and... Do I spend a stress to speak a message?
You could just go back and tell everyone.
I still have a job to do here.
Send your fucking bird.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
What do you think we have birds for?
Fume will write a letter describing the events and then finish it with, "We have a big problem." Bunsen, don't stop for anything shiny until you come back.
Bunsen only stops for fire.
To start them or to watch them?
Good question.
Does he attend Billy Joel concerts?
Legally, just watch them, but
Allegedly.
But psychoanalysis of criminals say that sometimes the criminals will come back to watch their handiwork. And it's not actually their handiwork, they're watching the reaction of the crowd. Anyway. Sorry.
Okay, Criminal Minds.
How many carriages are in Duskfall? 3,482.
How would you know that? Sorry.
General populace, tax records.
Yes. I'm sorry, I derailed.
So, any other gathering information or anything anyone wants to do?
I would love to do a little infiltration ?
Ooh.
I don't know. I wanna Uh, I'm gonna go on lookout. I'm gonna go on watch. I'm going to like get up on the roof during a service. I'm gonna try and see where they take people who volunteer.
Okay. Um, the I'll say this because Glass did do some of that. It probably has this information for you. Like, I don't know if you get much
Got it.
more than
Okay.
what Glass has, because they're essentially the ones that volunteer. I'll tell you this for free. If there's more information you want, you can do something for that. It seems like anyone that like essentially volunteers at any of the temples around the city heads to the saint. Like all of that is happening at the sanctorium, the grand cathedral for the church.
How about I try and find the location of our esteemed diplomat?
Okay, you want to see if you can track down
Yeah. I'm gonna use my bounty
the
hunter.
vicar.
Yes, I'm gonna use my bounty hunter abilities to try and figure out where they're located.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, yeah, we can do that. So, what do you want to roll? Hunt?
Hunt seems right, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of right there on the 10.
And if it's wrong, I don't want to be right.
Risky standard?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, thought I hit the button. Oh, that's not good. That's a bad one. I got a 2.
At a 2.
I rolled 3 dice. I got a 1, a 2, and a 2. It's a critical 2.
Interesting. Trying to roll to 2, trying to track down a vampire.
Oh wait, shit.
Whatever could happen.
Oh
He's
no,
standing
I'm gonna
behind
be
me,
Quincy
isn't he?
Forrest. Spoiler alert for a 100-year-old book.
I didn't get to that part, Wings.
The cowboy dies at the end.
How do I want to do this? So you you kind of like backtrack to the job and try to figure out like where the vicar might be staying in the city. Essentially around the cathedral there is like housing. I would think of like the Vatican. There's like housing in the apartments for the high-ranking members of the church in the surrounding area. You gather if there was a vicar coming in to stay in Dustfall, like this is where he would be staying. Especially if he's as important as it seemed like he was.
A rectory is the name of the
Yes.
house.
Yes. You kind of scope out the grounds of the cathedral, like towards the rectory and to some of the other buildings around hand, like in the dead of night. As you are, you're moving like. I assume you're not on horseback right now.
No, that would draw too much attention.
Yeah.
Particularly the horse I have.
Yeah. It's a pretty unique horse.
The horse
you-
is what I use when I want to make a statement.
As you're kind of surveying the grounds here, you see even this late in the evening, a few priests are exit the rectory, kind of following along this walkway across the grounds, like between these gardens towards the cathedral. And as you are tailing them, you catch out of the corner of your eye a few other figures moving in the shadows, and you see seemingly having spotted you and moving towards you without making a sound. You see a dozen or so of these sort of vacant, expressionless zealots, having noticed like you moving across the grounds that are beginning to follow you, and like a couple coming from behind you notice them first as you realize like some others are coming from like quickly like converging on your position. I'd say your grackles begin to squawk, giving you a bit of a warning, having noticed them approaching.
Yeah. Okay.
So what I'm going to tell you here is the consequence of this, which you can resist, is essentially they're gonna come in and apprehend or attack you in some way. I don't think you exactly know what they're trying to do. You can try to resist this consequence, though.
They can try to attack me, and if that causes a problem for me, I'll resist that. I'll resist that consequence.
Okay.
I think Grackle's first instinct there is to abscond. She doesn't want to cause too much of a fuss here. I guess the running would be the resist.
Yes, that would be the resist. If you're trying to make a break for it, then you could resist it. Otherwise, you're gonna end up in a scrap.
I want to get in a scrap, but it's not. Well, it simply isn't done. We don't do that here. Yeah, I'm gonna try and run. I'll do
We would never.
Okay, so this would be a prowess resist. I believe that's the physical one. We've been doing this for 31 sessions, and I still can't fucking remember.
I shall like to skedaddle.
Woo!
I'm gone. Goodbye.
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 In the middle of the crowd, just uses her line launcher to get the fuck out of there.
You get to
Crit success.
You get to clear one stress.
Oh, sick! I didn't
with a
know you. I
crit.
didn't know that.
Yeah,
Critical on resistance.
if you crit on a resistance, you heal.
We found that
Essentially.
last time.
What?
Yeah, we keep finding new rules. I found that one last
It
Wait.
time.
also says it on the
On the Roll20.
So-
Yeah.
If you have
that
zero
for me.
stress and roll a crit on a resist, do you overindulge?
No.
That'd be so funny. I did so well.
I'm gonna.
The same way I don't think you can overindulge, since you're not indulging vice has specific consequences. If you
Mhm.
clear the stress through other means, it doesn't. It
Yeah,
doesn't have
yeah,
the same
okay.
consequences.
I think the way I get
That would
out of
be
here
funny,
is
though.
that I summon my horse and I ride off on horseback.
I love that. So you're like in the middle of this like darkened like garden here, and you hear the footsteps of these like dozen or so like militant zealots of the church like moving in with like cowls drawn, wearing their crimson and gold vestments, and you whistle, and like materializing next to you is a spectral horse as you climb up on top of it and just ride out.
So Elden Ring coded.
Oh, I love that.
Hans
Bye.
Zimmer is playing in the background, going crazy on the timpanis.
I absolutely love that. So, unfortunately, you don't get much more information. Other than, I mean, the information you do get here is that they are.
Roving.
This place is very well defended. Like they're defending against people trying to sneak in. So,
Yeah. And they're on the lookout. They are looking out for people sneaking around.
yeah. Good try though.
I didn't even do shit. I was just sneaking. I was just looking.
Uh huh.
They said no looking.
No looking.
No looking.
So, anything else Sammy wants to do? Gather information.
Yes, actually. This one could be a quicker. It's more of like a potentially utilizing Skurlock maybe for this in particular. Maybe giving him a ring-a-ding-ding and seeing if he in particular might have heard of this term empty vessel.
Could I also send Salome with whatever lettering I could remember from the sarcophagus?
Oh, from the vampire priest. Yeah. Yeah, you could do that.
Can Fume ride along with this one then?
Yeah.
Sid, you cool with that?
Sure.
Please.
Yeah. So let's start this off with a roll. So probably consort.
Yeah.
I guess Fume could assist.
Yeah, I'll assist on this one.
Great.
I'll take a drain. To drain. I drain.
Woo! Got a 6.
Oh yeah, I have to introduce myself to Skurlock all over again.
You do.
Yeah, it's you. This is you walking. Is anybody else coming along for this? Glass, you joining? Or...
Yeah, why not?
Hey,
Grackle?
field trip to Skurlocks.
Always gotta go see Skurlock.
Is Grackle coming along too?
Yes.
Field trip to Skurlocks.
Field trip to Skurlocks.
Yeah, as you're let in, you knock on the door, exactly whatever I said, like, or the second episode of this game, like 7.3 seconds later or whatever. Skurlock arrives at the door, opening it. You're all let inside. Says, "Good, it's good to see you again, Fume.
Yes, I have.
Taller.
I've been eating my Wheaties. Transferred bodies. We found my brother's soul, and then we used that one.
He had a bit of a training montage in the basement.
Be a man.
Love a good montage. Please come in. How can I help?
We had a question. And perhaps to ask a favor of utilizing your libraries. I'm sure you've heard of the interesting turn that the church has taken in recent weeks.
Ah, yes. I am quite aware.
How so?
It's hard not to. Anytime this sort of zealotry hits this sort of fervor, it's always concerning.
It may be slightly more than zealotry, which is why we are here. Give him the information that we're aware of. Have you heard of the term empty vessel?
Yes, I have. In what context did you hear it in?
Apparently, the church has been using the term to describe these new street side zealots, essentially.
Ah. Well, it's an old term. Before the church became the Church of Ecstasy, it was formerly referred to as the Cult of the Empty Vessel.
Do I remember that?
This would have been
Hundreds of years ago.
this is beyond, like, this is older than Fume. This is
it.
like establishment of Dustfall. Competing religions.
oh.
Yeah. It says after the before Duskfall was Duskfall that you know today, there were many religions that were seeking the foothold that the Church of Ecstasy currently has. One always climbs to the top. It's the nature of this city, I suppose.
And a fair bit of rebranding. Church of Ecstasy sounds far more entertaining, at the very least, than the Church of the Empty Vessel.
The cult preceded the church, and when it reached the appeal that it currently has, yes, receiving its state recognition, became what it is today. But I'm sure there are still some, or it seems it is confirmed that there are still some that hold.
To the old ways.
Exactly.
Well, is there any written account or anything to your knowledge which would describe the behaviors of the people who attended the cult of the empty vessel?
It wouldn't take much doing. It's not too dissimilar from the church of today.
Oh, good.
The
Yes, that's
proceedings, the uh, doctrine largely consists of the same, that the corruption that is prevalent within all mortal beings stems from the corruption of the spirit, that we can see the effects of this corruption in pure spiritual form, ghosts and the like, eventually possessing, growing mad, growing corrupted, falling into this madness and lustful hunger, seeking to consume life around it, that this is what this church stands against. That without beings, without spirits, are life in its most pure form.
Would you happen to recognize this script from anywhere? Fume will fish a parchment out of his coat and hand it over to Skurlock.
I just do a fortune roll for old Skur in this one.
Old Scurvy.
Old Scurvy.
Take some vitamin C.
Let's see. He
Or
is
vitamin B for blood.
vitamin A positive. Let's see. Skurlock is reminding myself. Tier 3. So I'll roll 3 dice for him. It's a 5. He looks over your sort of sketching, your approximation of the glyphs and some of the notable features that you saw in this sarcophagus, and looks over it and says, this appears to be some sort of script of the old tongue, arcane text, language that's been lost to time. I don't quite know its meaning, but it's very prominent within older doctrines of the church and historians of that time. Is there any particular reason that you're interested in this text?
Oh, don't want you to become implicit in any of our activities outside of this lovely tea. But, hypothetically speaking, if we were involved in a certain train heist a few days ago, but we also discovered that they were transporting something that wasn't Leviathan's blood, something that was in a stone sarcophagus. All hypothetical, of course.
Understood. One moment. He leaves, moving over to his library or to the rows of books that you see. He peruses for a couple, actually pulling one down. Flips through a few pages, and he says, your drawing here may not be entirely accurate, but best I can understand is that these glyphs were utilized in a number of ritual practices. And I believe this one, he gestures to a symbol that's kind of like towards the middle that you saw, like prominent on the lid of the sarcophagus. It says, but this one was used primarily in corresponding to sacrificial offerings.
Right, that would explain the... Okay. Alright. Oh boy. Fume will sink into his seat a little bit and just reach for his cup of tea. Do you ever think sometimes that we might be getting in over our heads?
Getting?
I mean, I don't
The whole
know.
thing.
Hi.
I've had no delusion of us being out over our skis on this one.
Without further implicating myself in anything that may or may not happen, was there any further guidance I can offer to you?
In your honest opinion, how bad is this?
In my life, there have been many times when the church or those in similar situations have risen and fallen in favor. I don't imagine this will be any different than any of those times. People will die, people will live. Dustfall continues.
This might ruin the city, honestly. Duskfall was always a powder keg, but with the Baron and his ideals on life and the body versus the churches, it's only a matter of time before things come to a head and there will be war on the streets.
Undoubtedly so. If that is something of concern to you, then I would imagine this is very bad.
Well, yes, I live here. I'd like rent low, but not that low.
What I'm trying to say is it's a matter of perspective. Chaos can allow one to change their station, but it can lead to one's undoing as well. I'm really trying hard here not to quote Game of Thrones and say chaos is a ladder.
Well, on the bright side, if Duskfall gets destroyed, unemployment rates will go down.
Alright, think about any other side than that for like 2 seconds.
Above table, RJ, you had a very interesting
yeah.
little tidbit that you messaged me. Do you want to bring
I-
that up?
With the information about what's going on with the people that have converted, I was thinking about sending a letter over to the ink rakes.
Oh, duh. Duh. Duh.
Fight propaganda with propaganda.
Correct. That's the correct answer.
So obvious in retrospect.
I think it's a great fucking idea.
I'm so used to just living in this goddamn town. So like, terrible shit happening all the time. What can we do?
Wait, we can do something! We can actually do something!
We can utilize the friendship that we've cultivated with the fucking journalists. Let's do it.
And that's Duskfall, baby.
Mind control to the left of me. Mind control to the right. Here I am.
Assuming total control.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just these ones are robots and these ones are flesh puppets. Like,
Yep.
I don't know, like, pick your poison, I guess.
What's a cowboy to do? You know?
die.
No, not
You
an
know what?
option.
After this, I'm gonna go read the Psyobnic Cowboy again.
That's definitely something I could do. It's a matter of what the end goal you would want for that to be. How you want to spin it. So but that is something worth considering. That could at least, I mean, at minimum, get you a lot more standing with the ink rakes, but you could utilize that as part of. It depends on how you guys want to address your score, which it sounds like we're getting kind of close to.
Yeah.
Is the score planning and figuring out what y'all's approach is going to be. Now we're getting close to time. We can either talk about that a bit now, do the rest of the planning later, or can take a week to think about it. So.
I was thinking about also including in the information. Well, if Grackle had described to us how the police chief had died and how the Hull woke up and started screaming about holy shit, what have I done? We could also add that to the propaganda to the ink rakes.
Oh, certainly.
Our next heist a smear campaign against two Duskfall.
It's social. 100%.
Those always go great for Grackle.
Yeah, the city sucks.
What else?
Newsflash: city sucks.
But it's like city sucks, but it can get worse. Embrace the suck.
All signs point to yes.
So, unless there's anything everyone wants to talk about right now with Skurlock,
Maybe we take the week.
Yeah.
think about it a bit more.
Yeah.
Got a lot of
Sounds good to me.
options.
Does he clock any
I
of
feel
my
like-
new demon shenanigans?
Yeah, I think we'll probably. I wanted to have a conversation about that. I didn't know if Glass would want to go to him and be like, "Hey, so you got a demon in your basement? Guess what?"
Got any tips?
Demon in your basement, or just happy to see me?
Wouldn't you like to know?
So that is a definitely a conversation I want to have. I was just waiting until Glass wanted to have that conversation. So
Yeah, that's gonna be a one-on-one conversation.
yeah. Very cool. All right. Well, since we have plenty of time here, let's just go ahead and we'll call that a session, and we'll have plenty of time for end of session stuff this week. So let's get cracking on that. Let me get up the advancement. So PC advancement. I don't think we had any desperate actions today, did we?
No.
No. Playbook specific XP triggers.
Not today.
I did.
I did
I feel
do a
like-
little bit of tracking.
Calculation conspiracy, baby.
Oh, one of my functions is to discover, and I did discover some things.
That's right. Did we talk about, because we talked about it a little last time, it's like whether it was to follow your functions or to resist your functions.
I have to fulfill your functions despite difficulty or danger, and to suppress or ignore your former human beliefs, drives, heritages, or backgrounds.
Oh, right. So resisting your previous stuff. So for you, it's to resist it. For everybody else, it's to express it. Is the XP. Got it. So yeah, that's the next one. Express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. Or in Arch's case, to not.
Don't worry, when I get a couple of traumas, I'll start doing that.
Yeah.
Drives and heritage.
And
Everybody
then
starts turning into the Terminator.
start with the issues in your vice or traumas. All right. Cool. The crew advancement. Fan, you got that?
Not the first one. Let's execute a successful burglary, espionage, robbery, or sabotage.
We got that last time.
Contend with challenges above your current station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, y'all deal with the church and stuff. Your challenge here is pretty
That's
high above
fair.
your station.
Bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one. I don't know that really came up today.
Nah, not today.
Goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew.
I think maybe not inner conflict, but definitely poking around with some big ideas.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, then we advance. That's the last one we needed.
Woohoo!
Wonderful.
Just want to dump those 2 in mastery real quick. Call it a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to go ahead and get that mastery so you can start getting your
Well, we need 3 more. It takes 4 to get mastery.
Yeah.
got it. All right. Okay. That's it. Let's do stars and wishes, and then I'll give out a quote. Pulling up the quote stock.
Oh shit.
So speak now or forever hold your peace if you have one you want to put in there.
You know, I always forget that exists.
Yeah, that's fair.
I will go first.
Do it.
My star has gotta go to Ghost Horse. It's gotta go to
Ghost
Buttercup.
Horse!
It's gotta go to Grackle coming to glass and saying, "How can I get a Ghost Horse? Please help me." Incredible bonding for the 2 of them to do a horse girl things together. I just love it. I love it. I love Buttercup. I love Grackle on a Ghost Horse. It's really good. It's everything I love. My wish is I really do want to go fuck around in the I just almost said the Badlands. The Deadlands. In the Badlands.
Yeah.
I want to get up to some shenanigans out there. I think we've said that one before, but I'm going to bring it back. I bet Glass would have a great time out there.
Yeah, I've got to find a reason to get out there. I thought you would with the train heist. I thought I was like, this is perfect. This is definitely going to get them out there. And I was like, no, we're going to do this in the city.
Well, he was more or less not wanting to contend with like the ghosts and fuckery and poison out there.
Well, that's going to happen anytime you go
Yeah.
into the Deathlands. So
I want to do it.
yeah.
Next one we'll jump on.
Yeah. We'll find a way. Perfect. Thank you, Van. Who's
You're
next?
welcome.
I can go next. 'Cause
Go for it.
I guess you could call it a star, but I'm really happy that Glass is dabbling in demon shit now. Like,
Star for Demon Mommy. Yeah, that's a
star
star.
for Demon Mommy. I like to press buttons, but now I get to watch Glass press buttons in a different way. It's gonna be so fun. My wish. God, I wanna snipe someone because I have this real big idea in my head, and I need Grackle to be there too.
Yeah.
I can see it perfectly in Trigger Studio animation quality detail.
Wonderful. Awesome. Who's next?
I think it's me. I liked the scene with Salome and Grackle, because it called back on a serious scene from a while ago. And I want to see how Salome's whole deal, resolves. It's my star and wish all in one. I'm very invested.
Well, that was easy. Oh, Salome, I think, is very much exactly what she said to Grackle. Needs more information, and as information currently stands, about 5 for it and 95 against. But Sid might have very different thoughts, so we'll see. I guess that leaves me. My Stahar, I think it just kind of, I feel like it has to go to the group in general. I know that's a fucking cop-out, but I don't give a shit. I was, joking when I was like, you remember when we had holes in the floor and the jewelry box, and we were like, but yeah. I know the idea of a TTRPG is really to grow your character, but I really do enjoy Blades in the Dark in that concept of, like, we have grown these characters. We started in one place, we're in completely different place, but also not really. Like, we are still at the core very much what these characters were set out to do. And they've just sort of blossomed in this way in so many interesting ways. And it makes me very happy
Yeah.
to look back and then come to where we're at.
Yeah, I like Blades because it does force your characters to grow in circumstances.
Yeah.
It still leaves growth, like character growth is still up to all of you to, find and determine for yourselves. But like circumstantial growth and like, growth of opportunity and your standing and everything, like just happens organically. I do like that.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Do you or wait, was that the wish too? Or no, that was just the star. Do you have a wish?
My wish. Again, I always feel like weird or selfish wishing for stuff for your own character, but I am also very much looking forward to this this ritual. This should be very, very interesting.
Yes, it will. From what I've had planned for it, I'm very excited to see that come to a head.
Should be fun. Yeah, that's me.
Alrighty. Excellent. So, question for y'all. Did I give out a quote last time? I know we were in a rush to end. So, I don't know if I gave one last session.
I think you did. Let me double check the quotes.
I know we were saying it needed to be glass for something that they said like right at the end, and I can't remember what it was.
Dustfall doesn't need another bloodsucker.
There, yeah.
That's what it was. Okay, make sure. And Ben, I don't know if you took your XP for that, but okay. And then today I'm gonna give it to I'll give it to Grackle for the say the word and I'll be your parachute. That is a
That's some real Taylor Swift shit.
That's a Mayday parade song waiting to happen.
That shit's so gay.
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 So I love it. All right. Well, that's gonna be it for us today. Actually, we're gonna talk about this off stream because I don't know if we're playing next week. I had to confirm with y'all. So we're gonna confirm that, but we'll either be back next week or the week after because I think we might have some people missing this week. But in the meantime, join us for the rest of the streams throughout the week. We've got our next installment of Red Jenny on Monday. We're playing the Dragon Age TTRPG. Very excited to be getting back to that. Left off in the middle of a bunch of burning buildings. So we're gonna see where that goes. And then throughout the week for the rest of our streams, you can check out our full schedule on Twitch if you're watching us here live. Thank you, everyone out there, for watching, and thank you to my lovely players for making this game a joy to run as usual. We'll see everyone next time, and until then, good game, and good night, Internet.